Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a great Sunday. As you can see, I am surrounded by some fabulous friends. Welcome back to the channel. I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. Um, but I am not running the shenaniganry tonight. I am merely a participant. So I'm going to turn everything over to the gentleman in charge here tonight, and that would be Pope. Hey, Pope. Welcome back.
Glad to be back. Hey, everybody. Pope here. Pope World Build on the internets. You can find me primarily over on Blue Sky and start playing games. And tonight we have something completely different for you. Uh, if you are longtime viewers of the channel, this, I believe, is the first foray into the grim dark setting. Uh, so
I mean, we
we
played
will.
Zweihander.
Zweihander again, fantasy grimdark and sci-fi grimdark seem to hit a little bit differently. They both got the body horror and terrible life choices, but one tends to have a bit more whimsy than the other. The other has a lot more, well, going based off of pretty much all of 80s sci-fi, drool.
Mm, fits.
Um, there is a lot more fluids involved in the far future. Um, But on that disgusting note, let's go around. Please introduce yourselves, give us name of character and a little bit about the character's homeworld, and then we will start things off properly.
Well, I guess I'll start out. Hi guys, this is Aravondis. And today I'm playing Quentin. Quentin is a man that was born on a ship. One could call me Voidborn. You can tell I'm Voidborn by my pallid skin, my purple hair, and old eyes that have seen horrors beyond the veil. Anyway, I'm with this crew of knuckleheads, ready to be an individual who is actually good at most violent things. I mean, I'm not much of a thinker or a talker, but if you need me to shoot someone in the face, I'll do it gladly, because then the voices might stop.
On the note of voices, Dan,
Mm.
please introduce yourself.
Sure. Yeah, don't tell me what to do. I mean, hi. Hi, everybody. I'm Dan, and I will be playing the role of Enginseer Obscurus, originally from an agri world, and you can tell that's the case because of the arm that I have had to have replaced because those combines are very large, and I was blessed, truly blessed by the Omnissiah to only have given an arm in his service and in return for my dedication to keeping the combines that I've given so much to running, I was eventually brought in to be part of the Adeptus Mechanicus, where I have found my true and only calling.
On the note of finding one's calling, PB, how you doing, friend, and who are you playing?
Hi, I am PB, and today I'm going to be playing Octavia, a someone from originally a feudal world that they looked up to others and one day aspired to be more, and then one day, one beautiful day, a ship came by and picked up a bunch of young people and left with us and showed us that the way is to forever and always serve the one and only emperor. So I joined up, joined the Ordo Hereticus as an inquisitor. I am about 5'7". I have orange hair. I have my eyelids heavily tattooed with the word of the one and only, and my eyes still full of very not concerning hope.
Mm.
Yeah, inquisitorial acolytes, zealous ones. nothing could go wrong with this. Speaking of the person who makes it so that nothing goes wrong, hi, Prax.
Hmm. This is technically true. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Thing. Thank you, Hawk. I was muted from the whole thing, and I'm just going to go through it again because they all got the joy of it, but you did not. Hi,
All right.
everybody. I am your friendly neighborhood Gwyneth. Call me Diamond Sugar. It is indeed the joy and fun times of the world. I'm technically from an agri world, but slightly different than our dear friend Engineer Obscurus. Not my thing. However, I am the person that you give a call to if you need assistance, help, to talk to somebody, provide information, perhaps acquire certain things that one might require for individual assistance, and perhaps occasionally keep y'all from bleeding out in the service of the God Emperor. My small stature is increased by the size of my hair, because as they say, the higher the hair, the closer to the God Emperor.
technically correct.
Checks out. Checks out.
And technically is all we care about, Sugar.
Well, let's get to the technicalities, formalities, shall we? It is the 42nd millennium. For more than 10,000 years, the Emperor sat immobile on the golden throne, Terra. He is the master of mankind, master of a million worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass, writhing invisibly with power from the dark age of technology. He is the carrion lord of the Imperium of man, for whom thousands of souls are sacrificed every day so that he may never truly die. Yet even in his deathless state, the Emperor continues his eternal vigilance. Mighty battle fleets cross the daemon-infested miasma of the warp, the only route between the stars, their way lit by the Astronomicon, psychic manifestation of the Emperor's will. There is no peace among the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter and the laughter of thirsting gods. To be a man in such times is to be one amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress, the promise of understanding. For the grim dark future, there is only war. So, I want you to picture a nice, wide, black, starry shot. You can hear fading in the distant strains of the intro to Ozzy Osbourne's Hellraiser, as eventually coming into frame is a behemoth of a space vessel. It is long, it is festooned with hexagrammic etching, gold and brass gilding along the different ports of its guns. You can see that this massive floating city in space has flight deck running all along its port side. On top of the guns, on top of all that, there are many statues inset into the side of this massive vessel, their pallid faces staring into the dark. And then, all at once, there is this cavalcade of purple light as a rent in space and time opens before the vessel. You can hear, as the song Hellraiser is playing, and beginning to fade out in the sound of klaxons blaring. What few viewports out into the vast darkness of space are slammed shut with heavy, thick metal shutters. There is this very mechanical, blaringly loud voice coming over the comms. Warp transition in 10 seconds. And as the klaxons stop sounding, we see from the outside the ship go into this rent of space and then silence. The ship, the rent into space-time just disappears. Go along to the interior. You see this beautiful Baroque, but also, again, sci-fi bridge. People with different visual, mechanical augments, varying degrees of what is mechanical, what is human. We get in profile, I want to say, a very stern-looking Desperado era Salma Hayek, but in full like naval regalia. We cannot hear her voice as she is clearly barking orders to those that are within what we see to be the bridge. But then as we continue passing through the ship, coming to the multiple parts, we begin to hear fading in the sounds of Blackstone Cherry's cover of War as we find our little group of miscreants within a exceedingly, especially if you know anything about 40K, clean, pleasant, lit by more than candles but less harsh lighting than fluorescence room. There is clearly a table, everyone is sat around, and I'll let the four of you figure out what game are you all playing, as we can now tell that the music is coming from what is clearly some form of likely contraband boombox, possibly seen by some as archaeotech, but for those that live closer towards the segmentum solar is more common technology. But there is clearly drinks, snacks, and some game being played. By all means, fill in the blanks for us,
I
folks.
would like to object to the fact that this musical device is in any way contraband. It is only contraband if you didn't acquire it in the correct manner. And I always acquire things in the correct manner.
So this is a documented musical device.
A documented musical device to provide morale for the troops and allow them to greater praise the God Emperor, of course.
The game we are currently playing is called by some ship's tarot. It's not actually, of course, the true tarot that is used by, you know, higher ups and navigators and all those stuff. It's actually created a long time ago, at least on our ship. I'm not sure if other ships have it. Created by someone who at least once glanced at a navigator's use of the tarot, didn't go insane, and was inspired to make a card game out of it. Was able to put it together, and it sort of works. And over the generations, there's numerous strategies associated with the various type of cards you can get. But for whatever reason, every once in a while, it's not consistent, so it's not really heretical. You swear you get a card in your hand that wasn't there when you put it down. But usually it's a great card game. Pretty good.
Why am I picturing it as some horrific, bizarre mashup of like draw poker and Uno?
No,
There you go.
It's even worse than that, Sugar.
Oh.
It's a mix of draw poker and spades.
But there's also skip cards for rotation?
Yeah, that's just the tarot deck, honey.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm just sitting there. All right. I've got the traitor, the emperor, and the kazoo. How did this get in this deck? Anyway, so I'm gonna up the ante. PD, you're not speaking.
PB, we can't
PB,
hear you.
PB, you're not speaking.
Hi.
There we go.
As soon as you say traitor, I look up from almost confusedly looking at my cards. Looks up immediately, eyes wide open, like traitor. Immediately reaching for.
It's the card again.
weapon.
It's the card again.
Why would you name a card that?
I didn't name it. It was named by my forefathers generations ago. It just became part of the thing. I mean, the card is in the actual Emperor's, I think. I don't know. No one really went to check, but it might be in there. I don't know.
Actually, let's have our first roll.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. So, Octavia,
Yes.
I would like for you
Mm-hmm.
to give me
Mm-hmm.
a lore test, standard difficulty.
Oh, a lore test?
Yeah.
So
Just click on lore and see what happens.
Lore?
So
Alright.
is it routine or challenging?
This would be considered challenging. Routine is actually a less difficult. So yeah, it's a challenging. And okay, that is saying an impressive failure.
Well, you rolled a 63.
Yes.
4 level
Okay.
of difficulty. Oh boy.
For those of you, I know most of the players here learning the system. This uses percentile. You want to roll under, very much like Call of Cthulhu rules, but degrees of success and failure have very pertinent storytelling ramifications. So
I would just like to point out that you rolled logic, not lore.
fair.
And I don't
It,
think...
it wouldn't have changed anything, but it is a little bit higher.
Oh,
I just wanted to say.
Well, how much higher? Because degrees of failure are important.
It would have been my total instead of 23 is a 33 in lore.
Okay, so that takes off 1 degree of failure, but still that puts it in to a very specific band. Because degrees are fabulous in the system, because if it's on the failure side, zeros, so 0 on failure is a no but. You marginally fail, perhaps accomplish a portion of what you needed. 1 to 2 is just a standard failure when it comes to degrees of success. You just plain do it wrong. An impressive failure, which this is no and. So not only do you mess up, but you also cause additional things to go wrong.
Phenomenal.
So with this, not only, Octavia, do you not know about the contents of the cards of the Inquisitor's Tarot? Well, I should say the Emperor's Tarot, which is a mystical system of cards used for divination by those who do and sometimes do not have the Psyker's Gift or the Witch's Curse, depending on what side of authority you are sitting upon. So you do not know the cards contained therein. But you are now mildly suspicious that not only is Quentin from a misbegotten line of individuals, but now you are suspicious of the ship he originally served on. So with that in mind, how do things go now?
Yeah, that's when he says that's how the first that's how they used to do it on my old ship or whoever taught him. I go, stupid card. Who taught you this again? What is the idiots who came up with this again?
It was just a common card game on the ship that I grew up on, raised on. Its values instilled within me.
And you don't know who taught it to you? These values.
I learned it when I was young. I don't know. Just kind of knew it. Don't have a lot of memories of the past, you know. Probably a couple blows to the head. What's with the 20 questions? You gonna play or what? Or are you gonna keep reading your book?
I play in such a way that in the near future in this game, I get that trader card.
Good to know.
Okay.
Obscurus, what is your opinions on the game going on?
Obscurus has been observing this. I mean, he wouldn't call it heretical, not out loud, but it certainly doesn't feel holy. This game they're playing. Thankfully, there is something there to keep his attention, and to, I guess, wash away the stench of near heresy coming from the gamblers over there. And it is that jukebox, that little boom box. So he has been watching this behind his, his goggles, impassively, while slowly circling the little boom box with a censer of incense and muttering prayers under his breath, making sure that it runs correctly because he looked it up, and that is how this is supposed to run.
Go ahead, and in this case, uh, I want you to give me
Mm-hmm.
a routine tech test. So you get it, your threshold. You actually get a bonus plus 10.
All right. Do I just click on tech and see what happens, or do I have to somehow set the anything I need to do to set that difficulty?
I should.
At the top, you should be able to do it on the character sheet. Do you see where it
Yeah.
says
Ah, I
challenging?
see it. Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
Or
Yes,
you go
thank
if you
you.
go over to advantage
Yeah.
where it says no advantage. If you open it, it'll have an advantage plus 10.
Yeah.
Or,
Got it. Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. All right, so
or
routine you
just
said,
an
correct?
yeah.
Yes.
Routine is plus 20.
Got it. All right, rolling. Hey,
Astounding success as you
Nice.
rolled a 27. Um, so this this is now a blessed
told you.
device.
Told you I looked it up. This is how it works.
Um, so uh, again, astounding. The blessing that you're using is perfect. Um, so perfect, in fact, that if if you are in a scene in which this boombox is present, this
Mhm.
boombox provides you as a group an additional fate point that any one of you can cash in. This has been touched by the presence of the Omnissiah. It is a blessed thing.
Dope.
Damn straight it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, now that we have got a little view of our group and the card play, and have now established that the, you will there is homework. You are going to have to, at least one of you, agree to name this device. It demands one now. You guys are in transit to a planet that is currently dealing with a little heresy. But as members of the Dark Star 42nd, you are being transported aboard the rogue trader vessel, the Righteous Indignation. It is a old lunar class cruiser. This thing is massive. Its normal crew population complement is 95,000 souls on board. All of them doing something purposeful for the maintenance of this vessel, its crew, and its purpose to transit the stars, expanding and supplying the Imperium. It has a vaunted history, and as a rogue trader vessel, now some of you directly have served aboard more common fare, even born and raised on a more average ship. This place is practically a Club Med in space. For those of you who have experienced anything else, like Quentin, you are familiar with far more cramped spaces, things that are less maintained, the stillness of the air of the life sustainers, the smell of burnt oil and stale air. There's nothing of that in the places that you have least explored so far.
This is fancy.
The air moves. It is at a consistent, regulated temperature in every place that you have explored thus far. The thread count on the linens is high.
That's what gets me. Is that I go like, okay, this is too much. Quentin actually, for at least a week, refuses to sleep on the bed. Just sleeps on the floor. He's that uncomfortable.
The beds, while they are bunk beds, the foot lockers are actually secure. There's no major wear and tear on them. The bunk beds aren't noisy. They actually, are padded and not infested. Like, this place is nice. To put it in American military terms, guys are in an Air Force barracks. The amenities have all been paid for.
God, we're gonna go through hell.
The bathrooms, there are multiple, not just one per hallway. Like, it's strange to you. And then there comes the ostentatious displays of wealth that are just randomly placed throughout the vessel. Gilding on things that don't necessarily need gilding. The random tapestries that are behind heavy Lexan glass. Like, this is part ship, part museum to one dynasty's history. Obscurus, I'm going to give you this for free because you've probably been mildly obsessing over this entire time.
Yes.
As every other member of the Mechanicus who isn't of this vessel has themselves been trying to, through the data streams, which, again, you are plugged in. You have access to this ship's noosphere. And so the chatter amongst those who are not native to the ship is everyone wants to go and see the engine. The engine on this is special. It is apparently an actual piece of archaeotech from the dark age of technology. It is a plasma engine that is significantly smaller and has a higher energy output than anything normal for a ship this size. It is a most holy and blessed thing, a manifestation of the Omnissiah's brilliance.
And probably the thing has been in forefront in my mind since I stepped on the ship.
Octavia? The information you have makes you feel deeply conflicted. Because you got, thanks to your actual bosses, you've been given a brief, not just of the vessel, but the people serving thereon. The vessel itself, again, most vessels, even of this size, are tightly packed with all sorts of necessary things. This vessel has put aside space, power, personnel to have a full temple to the God Emperor on board. A clear sign of a devout worship and appreciation for the morale of humanity aboard this vessel and the caring of their souls. However, within the documentation of this vessel, it seems as though there are a number of I use these words very carefully because they have meaning.
Mm-hmm.
There are three lists of documentation for sanctioned Xenos aboard this vessel.
Sanctioned
Yes,
Xenos.
meaning that the people in charge have gone through a rigorous but somewhat debated diplomatic and bureaucratic process to get
Mm.
these Xenos vetted, tagged, and acknowledged. Now, for those who have the level of education, understanding, this matters a great deal. It means that in the eyes of the Imperium, these Xenos are useful. However, in the greater Imperium, all Xenos are deserving of nothing but derision, suspicion, and hatred. Fun fact in the documentation that you were given,
Mm.
one doesn't have anything listed aside from the fact that it is a Xenos, and that's it. It has its papers, but everything else about it has been redacted.
Oh. Interesting.
The
How
other
very interesting.
the other two are one is a Kroot. Kroot are bipedal reptiles slash bird-like Xenos. They are mercenaries by trade, and they definitely don't sound human, and have a reputation for cannibalism.
Oh.
They like to eat sentient things, and with your documentation, you know that if they eat enough of something, they get mutations.
Mm.
Mutation is another form of big H heresy within the Imperium. The other Xenos that is documented, there's a lot more filled out about them. But this is because them being seen as a Xenos is sort of a debatable thing. It really depends on what side of the law you are on and how deeply divisive or orthodox your interpretations of imperial law is. And
Mhm.
that, in the official standing, they are a member or former member of what is referred to as the Leagues of Votan, or in more common imperial parlance, a squat. What is a squat? I hear chat say. I want you to think of dwarves in space.
Voice in space.
Marshka uh, is her name. She is apparently been serving aboard this vessel for a little over 2 decades, roughly.
Okay.
And it is noted that she is serving as one of the rogue trader's bodyguards.
Interesting.
There is like very thorough documentation of everything that they have brought aboard, everything purchased, everything personally owned by this individual. Their documentation is impeccable.
Mm.
which leaves the other two where it's just like, there's a Kroot. We do not have name. We just know it is Kroot, and it has served aboard the vessel for about 10 years. And then the one where there is definitely plenty of things here, but everything has been blotted out
Mm-hmm.
to leave many questions not only in your mind, but the mind of your higher ups.
Yes. Yeah. I can imagine why. Just so I just just curious. While I've been on this vessel, have I encountered any of them?
You have seen at a distance the Kroot.
Okay.
Everyone gives them a wide berth. No one knows their gender because their gender presentation is neutral amongst the species.
Mm-hmm.
You have heard rumor that it's more how they vocalize that gives you a hint, but you never heard such a thing in its presence. Everyone gives them an exceptionally wide berth, which, given that some of the hallways are quite narrow, is impressive.
Mm-hmm. And that's the one that's been here for 10 years?
Roughly, yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Interesting. How interesting.
Um, Diamond,
How you doing, sugar?
I want you, in your case, because you do have a way with talking to people,
It's a skill I do enjoy applying and using to the best of my ability.
please roll me a rapport test. Let's at as a routine test, and let's see just how much information you are able to get from the locals.
Oh, well, sure, sugar. I'm happy to help you with that. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. No, I'm not. That is a
No,
90. How the hell did I roll that?
an impressive
Oh,
failure.
God.
This
Oh,
feels like
God.
this is a story, or would you like to spend one of your fate? You get 3, and they refresh per session.
And with a fate, I can
Reroll.
reroll, not push. Correct?
No, no.
Reroll.
Though if you spend it ahead of time,
Yes.
they give you advantage. What is advantage in this system? I am glad you asked. This is like a lot of this works more on Zweihander and Warhammer old school fantasy. It's a form of advantage, where you can flip to succeed,
Yes, to flip to succeed
and then disadvantage is flip to fail.
yeah. Well, today I'm gonna re-roll that because sugar, that should not have been that bad at all. Let's see what I can do here a little bit. Well,
Not
it's
as bad.
not
That is
as bad. It's just a regular failure, not an
Mhm.
impressive failure.
it seems as though with like again, you are used to people opening up to you. You are an impressively, you know, cheerful, engaging individual.
Maybe not always cheerful, but I do try. And
Yeah. The thing that you have noticed, probably more so because the overall like niceness of everything aboard this vessel is kind of overwhelming. The people serving aboard this vessel are incredibly loyal, exceedingly tight-lipped. Like, it's not unheard of for people serving aboard a rogue trader to have uniforms. These folks don't just have uniforms. You've you're somebody who walks around, you notice things, you talk to people. These people have have issued workout gear, issued lounge gear.
oh, we really are on a Air Force base, aren't we?
like this is a level of luxury that most Imperials dream about. And those dreams are beyond even them reaching for this level of care and luxury. And for that care and luxury, the people aboard this vessel are exceptionally, almost devoutly loyal to their superiors. In that you are good at talking. Everyone here has been polite to you, but you have gotten no scuttlebutt, no rumors, no gossip. They are exceedingly insolent. Pleasant, but insolent.
That just tells me when I find the gossip, it's going to be popping hot and perfect to share. Maybe with Quentin, definitely not with Octavia. Bless her soul, she's not ready for that kind of enlightenment yet.
Where'd the trader card go?
Wait. You have a very specific advantage. You have been born and raised upon Imperial vessels. Would you like to roll to see how lost you get?
Oh,
that's on you, Quentin.
Oh, sorry. Were you talking to me?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. How
For some
lost would you like to get on board this vessel, or what would you like to bump into?
What would I like to bump into?
Yeah.
Well, and this is out of character. This is Jesus. My favorite race in the game that I plan to want to paint minis for is Leagues of Votan. So I want to meet. What was her name again?
Marshka.
Marshka. I would love to meet Marshka.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a navigation test. This is at standard difficulty, but with advantage.
I mean, sure. So standard, I'm assuming is challenging, right? 0?
Challenging is the standard difficulty, the
Okay,
plus
just want
0.
to be sure.
But you have advantage, so you can
I do
flip to
have
succeed.
advantage. All right. So navigation. So first roll. All right. Second roll. Ooh, 0. Failure, but not by much.
But
If you take the first one as advantage, you flip the digits and then you succeed.
Sorry, I went full D&D there for a second.
No,
I apologize.
It's just flip to succeed. But
no. So I succeed. Exactly.
You succeed. You just, which is in here. If it's a 0 level of success level, yes, but.
Mm-hmm.
So you, as someone who is not part of the crew of this vessel, but have served amongst at least one, if not multiple, you know how to not be seen by people aboard a ship. To put it in military terms, you are part of a very specific mafia.
Can I say that it's one of the things I do to keep my skills up is every once in a while I go out and just shadow someone across the ship, like see what they're doing, just to keep my skills up, just make sure they don't see me. Nothing malicious 99% of the time, but
like you get your hands on a few data pads that you have in a stack, you keep your head down and you move with purpose. And no one stops you.
Mm-hmm.
No one stops you until you bumble your way onto the bridge.
Oh fuck.
As I said, you succeed, but
well,
it takes you a beat to realize where you are. It takes the security officers a beat to realize that you're not one of the normal crew.
Mhm.
But yes, you have reached the heart of the operation, as it were.
So there's Quentin with stacks. He's just like, all right. And he went in and he just sees like for reason he didn't focus, he looks around and he sees shutters down, the bridge, the entire thing, and far off in the distance, because this is a huge bridge, because of course it is sitting on their throne is the rogue trader. And I'm just like, oh shit. And I'm gonna try to like just turn, oh look, oh, I gotta get these five. I turn around and try to walk out.
Okay, I I will give you a choice.
Okay.
You can either roll stealth or rapport at challenging to continue to not be seen.
Mhm. Question.
Mhm.
Actually, no, it wouldn't make sense for me to have my camo cloak since I'm trying to blend in. So, all right, just gonna be regular stealth. Just gonna do stealth. Come on. Uh, you know what? Gonna use a fate point.
Okay.
Come on. Yes. All right, there we go.
Okay. You managed to, in the moment, just as like the two primary like security officers aboard the bridge start to like look in your direction, like notice that okay, something's off. That is when you perfectly do the turn on heel of like a junior member of the ship and just go, oh, I'm in the wrong place. And immediately, like tail between legs, member of the E4 Mafia got caught, wants to go back to their nap. And make your way back onto the lift and on your way back down. But
Okay.
as you're on the lift, you do catch glimpse of Marshka.
All right.
She is interesting.
Mhm.
She, you see, is in not standard clothes. She's in some form of power armor. Um, and like that, those are some like one of those things looks like almost like a very impressive looking some form of plasma weapon. And the other thing looks like that the handle for some sort of power sword, but you're not entirely certain.
And Quentin's just staring. Quentin is there like
Just staring as the lift looks.
just staring at the other, like undecided, just doesn't know what to say. Just saw that like nailed it. Yeah, I still got it.
So we have but a few glimpses of, again, you guys have roughly a year in transit of this vessel. We're going to do 2 rounds. I want to know precisely the kind of trouble y'all get up to in that year aboard this ship.
Hmm. 2 each or 2 as a group?
No, 2 rounds each.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Okay.
you can involve other members of the group.
Mm-hmm.
I highly promote getting other people involved in your trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, there are prizes to secretly be won,
Oh.
or knives to secretly be won, depending on what happens during your 2 years in transit. These can have subtle to dire consequences on the campaign going forward.
I'm going to say that Quentin with Diamond, with her permission. The food we get is fine. You know, it's honestly fancier than anything that we've gotten in any other ship. But with time, people get used to things. And one of these times we thought, I wonder if we can snag some of the fancier meals that might go to some of the higher echelon crew. Just one meal. Should be fine. What do you think? Just, something fancy. Some high-end grox meat, maybe. Diamond, honey, I would never ask you to do something illegal that I'm just asking you to ask politely to individuals, perhaps obscuring the truth as you're so good at, to ensure that we get at least 1 or 2 meals of the highest quality. And if you need me to move some stuff around for you, I'm more than willing to help. Ooh, what type? Any idea or just tea in general? Ooh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For oolong is romance, I'm guessing.
Y'all, it is indeed a day and an NY, and but yes, we have an entire thing about tea as code words for different types of gossip that might be relevant and or useful to share around. And oolong has to do with romantic entanglements.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm thinking the real hot kind, long, dark, and slightly bitter.
Oh, you know what'd be nice? You know what'd be really good oolong tea? Something between a human and a Xenos.
Sugar,
That'd be
that
fun as.
sugar, that would only be piping hot, depending on who it was with.
Oh.
But let's see if I can't get you what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Also, make sure that Obscurus don't mess with the station no more. He blessed it. That's great. It is blessed by the Omnicide. Praise the Omnicide.
Mm-hmm. Of course, yeah, it's nice.
Their taste in music.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not wrong. I mean, I'm glad it's blessed. Don't
I-
be wrong. Praise the side.
Okay,
What?
we have to do. You have invoked what has become a special rule that I am borrowing from a friend. You have invoked the side story clause.
Fair.
So now we cut to Obscurus. I need deets on this music.
So here's the thing with what Obscurus has been up to. Um, for in fact, he has heard the whisperings on the noosphere of this engine that has basically dominated. He's got dedicated cycles to it, just running constantly as it goes. Perhaps part of him even thinks that maybe getting close to this engine is the very reason why the Omnissiah saw fit to lead his path to this ship. But of course, he is a smart individual. The flesh is weak, but the mind is half metal, and he has come up with a plan for while he may not be able to interface with this engine directly, what he can do is feel out all the places around it. Maybe if he figures out all the places he can't touch and get into, he can put together the shape of this thing. That is his plan. Now you're asking, okay, but how does this relate to the music? Well,
Mhm.
they think it's music, and it's fine to let them continue to think that. Um, what he's been doing is more of a sonar or echolocation, really. There is a beat to it, which might explain why people think it's music. And there's an industrial quality to the noise, if you will. And then for those with a desperate need to find I guess beauty and art in things, they could possibly interpret the beautiful mechanical sounds that this device is making as music. But really what it is him literally putting this up to the walls and letting the vibrations come back and doing math about it. Sacred math, but math nonetheless.
So Obscurus is playing Sandstorm on a loop at max blast up
Yes.
against the wall and using it as a sonar test.
Correct.
I mean, after the third iteration of do 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 do, it kind of grains, you know.
Okay. So I just want to establish Sandstorm is, now part of the Omnissiah's suite of sacred musics.
Mhm.
But go ahead and roll me a tech test, a
Sure.
challenging tech test to see how well this experiment goes.
Let's see. Ooh, impressive failure.
This is known in the worst ways possible.
Sometimes you
Okay.
try something new and it just doesn't work out.
This is the first instance of one of my favorite mini games as an ST. I want you to tell me how this goes wrong, and I will tell you how it gets worse.
Excellent. So it turns out in a ship this size, a lot of the time when you're holding a device up to a metal wall and making it shake and vibrate at high volume, there are, in fact, I would say more than just sometimes. In fact, most of the time, there are other people on the other side of that wall, whose, holy and important and mysterious work probably should not have been interrupted by what is one step below some kind of sonic attack, based on my role.
Okay. Given that you are in the barracks section of the ship, but that is going side to side, I'm going to roll the happy sad die.
Yay.
We will see the level of who you have irritated with your sonic attack based upon this roll.
Excellent.
That is the saddest of faces.
Oh boy.
The good news is you didn't piss off any of your direct command.
Hey.
That's the good news. The exceptionally bad news that may have ramifications down the line is the floor above you.
Yes.
This ship is vast. However, we have now established not only where the Medicaid deck is on the ship, but the office of the chief surgeon of the Medicaid deck, who, unfortunately, for the lot of you, and unfortunately for your command, is a canoness of the Sisters of Battle.
Ah.
A canoness who is of the Sisters Hospitaller.
Hmm.
She does not have an appreciation for your music.
Well, I mean, I would try and explain that A, it's not music, and B, I kind of found a structural improvement that could be made. Clearly not enough
I,
shielding between the levels. I would explain that,
I,
but
you are not explaining it to her.
no.
She understands chains of command,
Mm-hmm,
and you just after 2 days of this,
mm-hmm,
um, Colonel Noth
mm-hmm,
does not directly go to you.
mm-hmm.
However, Colonel Noth thinks that this needs to be nipped in the bud so badly and
Mm-hmm.
is in such a conniption about this that he sends Engine Seer Prime Schwartz
Oh
to
my.
come and find you. The Engine Seer Prime of the regiment, the head mechanic, comes and finds you. Schwartz is of indeterminate gender. Their
Mm-hmm,
gender is there are metal bits instead.
mm-hmm,
Um, they they are a. You're not entirely certain how tall they actually are because they are constantly hunched.
mm.
No one knows just how many legs are underneath the cloak.
But it's more than two.
Uh, but you you do know again, as much as the Mechanicus wants to deny their humanity, they're
Mm.
still human. There is
Yes.
an open betting pool amongst the lower level engine seers to figure out just how old the engine seer prime is.
Mm.
There are many theories. The eldest puts them being born sometime in M35.
See,
It
it's
is
a.
currently M48.
Mhm.
Um, the one with the best odds is being somewhere around M39. So yeah, they're old. They have multiple sets of mechadendrites that they have the ability to swap out. Uh, right now they're in what is referred to as their leisure regalia when they come directly to your barracks. Engine Seer Obscurus, I'm here to talk to you about a sonic test.
Uh, he looks up with for a brief for a brief and beautiful moment, almost excitement that his testing has been noticed by the higher ups. For surely they are going to praise his efforts, and so he rises up a little and goes, Agency Prime. Of course, whatever you need.
I need you to cease with all due haste and consult with the one you all call Diamond about writing a apology, formal, in triplicate.
Formal in triplicate.
You have upset the canoness on board, the one in charge of the locals' Medicaid deck. She has issued a very well written, not incredibly subtle direct threat on the entire regiment, and possibly has insulted Colonel North's entire lineage.
The testing was proving inconclusive anyway, and I will cease immediately.
That is appreciated. We would like to receive said apologies in triplicate within the next 2 cycles.
Of course, Engineer Prime.
Excellent. Next time you are going to go about doing a test of any extracurricular type, please consult with your peers about the ramifications, unforeseen, of the test. That way, in your eagerness, you may rely upon your peers to foresee pitfalls that your current hypothesis is blind to.
He kind of winces a little. Of course, Agency Prime. I will write this apology immediately.
I will do what I can to make certain that the Lieutenant Colonel's assignment for you is not too awful.
He just kind of bows his head in gratitude.
It is not long thereafter that, yes, Colonel Noth is too busy to oversee your punishment. And Colonel Noth is also confident that the Agency or Prime will not issue something painful enough for you. Therefore, Lieutenant Colonel Mira Pierce, head of logistics and supply, has been brought in to see that you do not have too much free time.
Honestly, for the best.
During your trip. And has seen to it that you personally go through and catalog the entire regiment's munition stores that are currently with the regiment in transit, making sure that everything is polished, accounted for, oiled, and repacked.
Joke's on her, I'm into that. But yes, at some point, Agency Obscurus will approach Diamond with needing a bit of help with a missive. Let me check this again. It says here apology. I don't know.
To whom and for what?
He just hands the data slate over, showing to whom and for what.
And there's this moment of
Precisely.
like, oh, sugar.
Diamond, you have dealt with many things in your time. The very concept of pissing off one of the Adepta is something that even your grandparents, because you grew up in an agro world, you actually knew your grandparents, would never dream of as a nightmare. Like, again, your likely understanding of the Sisters of Battle, the Adepta, is, especially as a member later of the Astra Militarum, yes, they can be angels on the battlefield, but you are a more practical individual. They are ants. They are very angry ants.
Sugar, we call them fire ants for a reason.
And when you know enough strategy, unofficial strategy, mind you, this is something that is talked about in the more practical regiments. Your one does have a number of pragmatic individuals. It's why they've survived so long. When dealing with the Adepta, the strategy is stay the fuck away and guide the enemy to them. And then run. Because they will react strongly to whatever threatens them. So yes, Fire Ants is very good. Though, again, this is 40k. So Bullet Ant is probably the better analogy. Hyper aggressive, incredibly capable, deadly, and holds a grudge.
Look, we can work with this.
Mhm.
I'm gonna hand
mean-
you something, and you're gonna sign it.
Good, because if you look there, you'll see my first draft, and if you read, it is it is an explanation of why he feels that apologizing for finding a structural fault in the ship is not necessarily usually the kind of thing that one would need to apologize for he is in fact just doing what the Omnissiah has given him as a task in his life. But that said, he understands that his testing may have slightly inconvenienced others, and promises to in the future make sure that the rooms nearby are unoccupied before any future testing. That is his first draft. So you can probably see why he came to you.
She just pushes delete
Mm,
on the document
mm.
and make sure it's totally gone. It's like, no, sugar, that's.
Mm.
I'll write it. You sign it.
All right.
Also, and she kind of like looks at him, evaluates him. Like, you feeling all right? You're looking to might peek it again.
I just they've been keeping me very busy.
That's good. Keep yourself out of trouble. But don't forget, hydrate. The
And he-
airflow is very different in here. You need to make sure that the humidity ain't good necessarily good for all your gears. You're starting to rust a bit there, sugar.
He immediately just looks at his and starts like pulls up a bit of his robes. Like, oh no, I must go. Come here, maintenance. Thank you. And he's just trundling off.
And there he goes again. All right. Oh. Well, that's just horrible. Oh, good Lord Almighty, bless me and save me from damnation.
So we have had our side story. Let's go back to now that we have established the music, the ramifications of said music. So
I figure that whole bit about the music happened within like the first month we were on this journey.
It feels like week 5.
Yeah, it's like it's that waited just long enough to find where the optimal testing location would be.
Yeah, this feels like a week 5 incident.
Definitely.
Now remember, keep Obscurus away from any sort of musical anything.
No. Yep. Last thing I want to do is be blasted apart by Candace. But there's a joke there. I'm not gonna go there. Not gonna go there. Nope. Anyway, food. Let's go find it. And tea. Good tea.
Good
Romantic tea. Ha.
Preferably the hot kind, not the iced kind.
Oh, true. Want it nice and spicy.
Now, one of you, because I love this system, gets to lead on a check, and the other one gets to aid.
Okay.
Now, you have a number of ways of going about this little adventure. You can use intuition, logic, rapport, navigation, or stealth.
Hmm.
Well, I think you. I mean, I think rapport might be the best bet here, or intuition. But
Well,
I think
that's.
rapport.
I mean, stealth tends to be my strong point, but I can technically go with perhaps intuition. Rapport is not
Or,
great.
my question is, which one of you has an advance in intuition then?
Not me.
Intuition, not in intuition.
I have an advance in stealth, and that's about it.
I have
Okay.
Okay.
rapport, and I have a specialization in rapport. And I have.
Again, either a specialization in the skill or an advance in the skill allows you to give an entire boost to skill success level
Yeah,
in aiding one another.
I
Otherwise, these are two separate roles, and I get to see just how bad things go, or
yeah,
good.
I don't have an advance in stealth for you.
Hmm.
Okay, so
So
in
like we
that
have
case,
vastly different
Yep.
stats.
Yeah.
so it sounds like one of you is going to be rolling stealth, and the other one's going to be rolling rapport, and we'll
Mhm.
see how things go.
Okay.
Rapport or charm rapport.
You can do charm,
Okay.
so let's see how this goes.
Okay. Give me a second. What's the difficult? Challenging.
This is challenging.
Okay. Wait. Do I have my camo cloak on?
You can have it.
Ooh. Okay.
Just keep in mind, if you get caught, it will be worse. I will put it this way. You can use the camo cloak, but should you fail, you get an additional success level of failure.
Now let's not risk it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's clicking. I'm gonna check around and. Ooh.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. Well, let's see how this goes.
Oof.
19.
Nice.
All right. So we have a success and an impressive success.
Mm-hmm.
So a yes and a yes and. So, Diamond, you find out that this vast vessel, while it has the standard stores, it has excess stores, but probably more exciting is they have an arboretum.
Ooh, very fancy.
Mm.
They have fresh vegetables and fruit on board.
I had a fresh vegetable. Well, it wasn't fresh. It was left over from someone's higher up's plate for like 3 days, but it's pretty fresh technically. I had that once. That was delicious.
So you can, with that information, choose to either try and have Quentin infiltrate the arboretum or the extra stores.
See, I grew up on an agri world. I understand how security is on actual farming.
So high, low.
Praise be the God Emperor. Feeding the masses of the Empire of Humanity is a honorable and pleasant task for some people. But getting into an arboretum is, well, did you want to sleep your way to the top there, sugar, or something else?
I mean, no. Still, we'll probably go for the store. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that's a future me thing. Maybe we'll see how things go.
Well, why don't we pull a baiting, a stage 2,
Oh.
right? I'll walk in, you've come behind me in that nice fancy cloak of yours, and I'll be my fine distracting himself, and you take what you can.
I like that plan. Let's do
So
it.
you're hitting up the Arboretum.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Fuck it. Let's do it.
We're having a Yogi Bear moment aboard this vessel where we have the hot dame, and then the bear in the suit goes around and just fills the picnic basket.
Hey, Diamond, I'm going to sneak in. You do the report.
But I would
It'll
like
be
to
great.
point out, I do have a talent for this. It's called distracting.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
But he's already rolled his stealth, and you already rolled your rapport. So this is just happening. We're going
Yes.
off these successes.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So with that, again, maybe it was just the primary command, as you are now going to people who have probably never been dirt side before.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to oversell this. You have found yourself a pale version of Clark Kent. This is Farm Boy, but in space.
Base boy.
Oh, there's so much I could. There's a brief, infinitesimal fraction of a second where she's like, "Oh, I feel bad for you." No, I don't.
Like, he is clearly smarter than what he has been left to do. But he's smart, but he's not ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
He's painfully polite, and you do your best Lois impression and pretty much just bowl right over this poor man.
No.
Okay, go
Lana.
on. Tell me how you
Lana.
how you handle this farm boy.
Oh, Lana. Lois is many things, but femme fatale she is not.
No.
Lana, however.
Okay.
But
You're Lana Langing him.
goddamn, yes, I am. But also the other great and abiding heroine of any and all of us good Southern women. One Miss Sugarbaker.
So it's not long until you have this very flustered, large, especially for a Voidborn, gentleman, thoroughly distracted.
Mm-hmm.
And Quentin, much is in season. Not everything, but much is in season. I want you to tell me, are you going after the vegetables or the fruits?
Gonna be honest, Quentin has never had fruits before. Vegetables? Rarely, but never a fruit. Never been a high priority on the ship. And on the missions he's been on. Yeah, Quentin's gonna try some of these fruits. Have a bit of the sweet life.
Okay. You are going to get your hands on a number of ripe ploins. I want you to think of if an apple and a pear had a baby.
Oof. Yes.
And the thing is, they grow sort of in reverse of the pear shape. So the stem it ends up hanging from what we would think of as the bottom of the pear. In fiction, instead of things going pear-shaped, they go ploin-shaped because it looks like a nuclear explosion.
Fits.
So you get your hands on a number of ploins. You also get your hands on, this is mildly painful to do, but you found some blackberry bushes they have on board. And you have ravished one or two of these bushes. Scratches on hands be damned.
what price I have to pay for these blackberries.
Yes. You also managed to nab your hands on, since you are going for fruits, and it's effectively fall in space. um, you get your hands on a number of standard apples as well. So that is the bounty you were able to get in the basket that you have hiding with you under your cloak.
Yep. I just grab it, and I'm walking by, and I just see how distracted Space Boy is, and I'm just walking out. I'm not even just trying to stealth. I'm just walking. I just give her a thumbs
No.
up. I say, "What?
Since it is fall,
No,
do you want to grab a pumpkin or a couple of squashes on your way out?
of course I do."
I'm just like picturing Quentin just like, you know what? She's doing so well. It would be a shame if I didn't.
Of course. Yep. And I'm just carrying this massive load, and right behind Space Boy, I'm trying to do a thumbs up, but it's hard to shift with all the stuff in my hands.
Yeah.
And she just kind of shifts and gestures behind her. It's like, yeah. Now, Sugar, what's this I hear about this young girl that you've been seeing? I'm sure we can figure something out for you. And she will firmly try to end with arranging some sort of matchmaking for this boy because she has totally destroyed him.
So go ahead and just write down for me. You now have a contact. Subheading, like primary headings, rogue trader, subheading, contact, Clark.
I mean, I'm happy to keep talking to people.
But you now have access to a very pliable, distractible man who is in charge of the farm on this vessel.
Mm-hmm.
At least not fully in charge, but in charge for shifts. Because again, you would look at him and go, he's intimidating enough. No one would fuck with the plants.
Yeah. No, he ain't.
But yeah, you guys meet back up. You have about, I would say, 4 days worth of fresh rations with everything for the four of you, with everything that Quentin pilfered.
What a glorious bounty we have before us.
Praise be the Omnissiah and the God Emperor.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna start covering up this parking. And it just whoosh.
And then she'll look around and realize that they left Octavia alone.
Yes. So Octavia, what have you been up to since, Obscurus is very busy. And Diamond and Quentin have gone off on their own little adventure.
I have been I have forgotten what my roles are or what my stats are. So I'm just gonna give him a quick little peek to make sure that this is a character that I think it is. Their strengths are definitely their strengths, and their weaknesses are sure weaknesses. I am Octavia. I'm not doing anything. Octavia, as always, working for the will of the God Emperor himself, and I am going down. I'm feeling some kind of way about this this hall of worship that they've created on this ship.
You wish to visit the temple?
I would like to go see this temple.
Okay. This is going to give Octavia a great contrast of feelings. Because, The signage on here is actually surprisingly like good on this vessel. It's like they want people to
Mm-hmm.
actually be able to navigate, though there's lots of secure doors. Uh,
Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
but no, it is a bit of a haul from the barracks, but you do eventually find yourself in the temple. The first thing that stands out to you as you enter its doors
Mm-hmm.
is the amount of space given over. Like the typical ceiling height varies anywhere between 7.5 to maybe 10 feet. Like that's the variance.
Mm-hmm.
The ceilings here are probably at minimum 30 feet.
Oh.
There are
Oh.
rows of large statues of imperial saints. There is entire mosaics uh, lit well with this temple's candle budget is probably enough to feed multiple families on planet. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it is well appointed. There is this constant whiff of incense. There's also so much stuff burning. There's a slight haze to the air. Um, there's plenty of pews, um, all leading up to this altar of that has a statue of the Emperor Triumphant,
Mm-hmm.
which is a very particular, very positive, less harsh view of the Emperor. Uh, at the back of this altar, um, there are multiple people from apparently all walks of life aboard this vessel that are in solemn prayer. Um, the other thing that you find interesting is that it seems like this temple has two confessionals in it.
Oh.
That is something that you don't see in the standard faiths used dirt side. Like those are usually only exist in the most orthodox of interpretations of the faith. So
Mm.
there's a mix of elements of reform parts, more liberal parts, but also there's also a mix of orthodoxy here. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Interesting. Um, I I would like to go and just look at each of the statues lining um
Line the
lining this
halls.
temple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, they're it's interesting. Most of them are very specific imperial saints.
Mm-hmm.
One side is saints specifically associated with the expansion of the Imperium. These are all conquerors. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like they're you have Macarius, you have Drusus. These are men who led specific crusades within the history of the Imperium. Like Drusus led crusades that started within the Calixus sector, kind of started to like just eyeball the Coronis expanse, but was primarily in the Calixus Macarius. Like his conquest got him an entire series of systems, a segmentum named after him. So very popular, very well known within certain circles of the Imperium. As you get closer and closer to the main altar, that's when you notice that there is not all statues are created equal.
Yeah.
As you get closer to the altar, there is a statue of Sanguinius. This is a primal, one of the Emperor's sons. And he was known quite literally as the Angel. He is depicted with wings, and it shows him in combat with a surprisingly well sculpted small H heresy depiction of some sort of infernal figure. He is not in power armor. He is out of armor. He is very well muscled. Articulate with his sword, piercing the sternum of this demonic bull-like figure, minotaur-like. But also, the artist has spent a good deal of time making sure that everything is very anatomically correct and the shadows are lovely. The expression of the Minotaur is one that can be interpreted as either agony or ecstasy of being pierced.
Really putting the H in small heresy there.
It's just done artfully and deniably enough for it to pass muster.
Definitely has me like looking at it a little sideways as I look at the great visage of Sanguinus, is what you said?
Sanguinius. There is, again, because of whom you're associated with and your masters, you would know that there is a section of the Imperial faith that, how do I put this? They venerate Sanguinius almost to the same degree as Catholicism, especially during the 90s, venerated Mary.
Still venerates.
Yeah, but they got almost to like big H heresy in the 90s with Mary veneration.
No. You have to. That's a side point. We'll put that a pin in that. We'll talk about it when we do our other streams.
Yes. We can have all of our borderline and full-on heresy discussion throughout faith. It is one of my favorite controversies. But yeah, it's one of those, like, there's an entire like festival called Sanguinalia that is specifically a holy day, but oftentimes by those places and sometimes entire planets that celebrates the holiday. It's more of a holo month.
This glorious time.
Yeah, like there's typically like a mixture of solemnity and celebration on very specific holy days for the emperor, but those are days.
Yeah.
His son in some places gets an entire week to month worth of celebration.
Damn.
Again, and with some of them, again, small H heresy within the faith, he is venerated as a semi-messianic figure, an intercessor between, the the faithful and the emperor.
Hmm. That
Then
makes
you get to
sense.
the other side, and you notice that all of these
Mm-hmm.
all of these saints are saints that are associated with the Adepta Sororitas, the Sisters of Battle.
Oh.
And the interesting thing is, these are not the big names. These are a bunch of the minor saints. But they are given close to, not quite to the level of sanguineous veneration in their depictions,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely greater than the conquerors.
Huh.
Um, but yeah, like we're talking about saints who, you know, one of the saints Hospitaller who uh, pulled a DOS and like was healing and saved a bunch of her sisters. She was a non-combatant, a member of the Hospitallers, but not only did she pull them out and help to see them healed, she performed a miracle that ended in her death, where somehow she actually, for the last bit of her sisters, took upon their wounds as they were
Mm.
fleeing and died on the field of battle. Another, like, two of these are really obscure. Like,
Yeah.
one is a member of the Ordo Familias, which is a a very under noticed
Mm-hmm.
section of the sororitas, in that they specifically deal with education and matchmaking among imperial nobility. In the grand scheme of things, they are one of the most important arms of the Adepta. They are also the one that no one thinks about.
But here they are on this ship.
Yes. And like they have like three saints. And one of them is here. And it's interesting. Like, it's somewhat surprising, but not incredibly surprising, in that this is the saint associated with the navigator families.
Mm.
Navigators are incredibly important for the Imperium, in that they are the only ones that are able to literally navigate ships through the warp. They are the sanctioned mutants of the Imperium, and
Mm.
are part of the only reason the Imperium still functions. Their bloodlines are considered sacred. This is the closest, this is the most that 40K cribs from Doom. um, is the Navigators, their families, the Byzantine network, and the incredibly lethal Venetian politics of them. Uh, and here you have the saint for the cultivation and continuation of the Navigator houses.
I mean, that makes sense. That checks out. This is the most expected
And
of all
then
these.
the one that is very weird,
Mm.
a member of the Dialogus, or the Dialogus. They are the translators and keepers of knowledge of the Adepta. They are women of letters. The, these are the people that the administratum interact with the Adepta. This is where the bureaucracy meets the religion. They are the go-betweens, but they are also, you know this, it is not populated. Like they're translators. They're also code breakers.
Mm.
There are only two code-breaking divisions in the whole of the Imperium. The Dialogus are one of the two. And because the privileged information you have, you know that the other group is associated with the assassin Noral.
Hmm.
In fact, you're probably the only person aboard this vessel that knows that there are two code-breaking divisions.
Yeah. Oh. So there is on this side the this code breaking saint. There's a navigator saint. And then there's the one who sacrificed themselves.
Yeah. And again, these are the most like out there of the lesser saints. Like there's a couple of
Yeah.
like other ones that are more combat oriented of lesser orders within the combat side of the sororitas.
Mhm.
Again, there are very specific temples or churches within the sororitas. Like we're looking at the most well known are saints of the Valorous Heart and the Silver Shroud, which are amongst the Grand Canon. They are the most notable of the least notable.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. And so it's all in the same hallway.
It's
The
all on one side
inside of-
of the temple, and the other side is like
okay.
conquerors until we get to Sanguinius.
Yeah. Sanguinius and then everybody else.
Sanguinius and then a bunch of human dudes. That what did they do? They conquered planets.
Interesting. I'm going to as I'm in here and I'm looking at all these statues, not only just noting who the hell they are, but noting how well kept they are. If any are more well kept than others, if there's more wear on some than others.
The thing that you noticed is all of these sections with these statues have a votary section for lighting a candle to say a prayer to ask for intercession. Because almost every saint has a purview, per se. Unsurprising to you, the one that has the most candles lit and is obviously the one that's most used is Sanguinius.
Yeah.
Again, he's the direct intercessor to the big god.
Yeah. That's as he should. Honestly, as he should.
There, it is interesting to you. Again, there's this very delineation between the divine masculine and the divine feminine in this temple. The conquerors, they're all maintained, but they don't have many votives lit. Again, everything is about equally maintained. There may be a bit more love and polish on the Sanguinius side, but it's also the one that gets the most usage.
Yeah.
What's interesting to you is when we get to the divine feminine side. There are some votives lit for the female warriors, about the same level as the male conquerors. But the three minor ones that I pointed out have more than the martial, but less than Sanguinius. They are a sort of middle tier. They may be associated as patron saints of the vessel to the level of devotion that is seen here.
Yeah. Interesting. That's wild. I am going to definitely go and take a moment and revere to the God Emperor while I'm here. It would feel like a capital H heresy if I didn't. And afterwards, I will continue for a while. But the latter half, I'm going to be paying attention to who may be coming in and out, just to gauge gauge if there's anybody notable that comes in and anybody notable that I didn't see while I was there. And that's like a routine I'd probably keep
Okay.
while on this ship.
Go ahead, since you're going to make this a routine.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make a routine perception test.
Awareness?
Awareness test, yeah. A routine awareness test.
Okay, this time clicking awareness and not the thing above it.
Yeah.
My God. I'm gonna use what is this?
A fate.
A fate point?
Yep.
I'm gonna try this. There's no shot. I want the record to show. I did a test roll before this for Prax just so for tech things. I rolled a 4 on that. I just want the record to show that I don't always roll terrible or high. Motherfucker.
Well,
Right.
it's not to the degree of failure that it says, because, again, you should have a plus 20 here, but that's still 1 degree of failure. Yeah, just 1 whole degree of failure, which is just, you don't notice anything incredibly out of the ordinary. Like,
Okay.
you don't notice that, like, you know the hours that you're keeping.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably wouldn't see, like, the most important people of the bridge crew and the command staff, but all of, like, the lesser functionaries, some of the people that work the night shift, where when you're there, like, later in the day, this is the start of their day, come in and do their morning prayers.
Yeah.
The other thing that I'll say that you do notice is that it seems like one of the confessionals gets a lot more traffic than another. And over the course of the time that you're there, you realize that the one that's being used was referred to as the auto confessional. You just confess to a recording device. That then one of the priests will go through to hear your prayers and confession and then send it up the chain, but everything is absolutely double-blind anonymous.
Interesting. And that's a common practice, I would assume.
Again, most places that actually have a confessional don't have a manned one. They have the auto.
Yeah.
It is a
the odd
rarity
thing is the other one.
to have one where you actually converse with someone.
It's so valid. But that is what I do with my time right now that I've been left alone with.
Yes.
To which should be almost no one's surprise.
So let's go back over to Obscurus.
Oh,
with what little free time you are allowed, what would you like to get up to?
I've shenaned once and I will shenan again. Let's see. What would I mean? Okay, so the thing about science is when you fail once, that's a data point, and then you continue trying, and you approach the problem from a different direction, right? And the problem here, of course, being that I have yet to be allowed to see this nearly mythical engine. So close, so close. I'm on the same vessel at it, and yet. My first idea, I think, had merit. How was I supposed to know? That the shielding between the levels was not quite up to code. But hey, you live, you learn, you put together a new hypothesis, and you try again. And so one thing that I think Ingencia Obscurus has been doing is he's trying to follow the example of the rest of his unit a little bit. He saw how well things went for Quentin, or rather, he didn't see, but he heard the stories
Well,
of how well things went for Quentin, just kind of wandering aimlessly around the ship and finding himself in new and interesting places. So what Ingenuity Obscurus has done in his free time is in fact not use that free time directly. Most of that free time is getting taken over by quote unquote extra work that he has been volunteering for. And during these extra shifts that he volunteers for, he is perhaps not as efficient as he is during his official shifts, and so in these extra shifts, he will occasionally turn left when he should have turned right. All in an attempt to once again gain a feel for the things that are being hidden from him.
excellent. I want you to give me a challenging navigation test.
Excellent. Let's see here. Challenging, and where's my navigation? It's not that bad. Let's see. Um, okay.
Oh, don't know how you rolled a 0.
Yeah, I don't know how I rolled an automatic success on this, but shall I try again?
Please try again.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. All right, it's on challenging, and once again navigation. Hey, there we go. Much better. Impressive failure. I'm doing so well.
Yeah.
You do have fate if you want
I
to re-roll.
do have fate points. You know what?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, don't I? Do I?
you actually rolled a 5 last time, so
Oh,
let's go
actually,
with the first one.
oh, I did roll
So-
a 5. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
there we
zero.
go.
Okay,
So-
there we go. So,
so
no,
yeah,
I'm taking the first one.
Yeah, you're taking the first one. So that is a. Ooh, okay. So that's a yes and. Um, so you get pretty good in loss. Let's see with the happy sad die how successful your wanderings are. It has chosen the sad phrase for you again.
Fair.
Um, so you don't wander close to the engine. However, you do find something that is also enlightening and exciting.
Ooh.
You have found that this ship has a librarium vault.
Oh.
This ship has a multi-story library on board.
It's
It
no
is-
engine, but it'll do.
It is gorgeous,
Mm-hmm.
very well cared for, and heavily invested in. Like this is something that you can tell is a point of pride.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of the bookshelves, instead of being, sort of industrial or half-assed cobbled together, everything is made of well-made hardwood bookshelves. Um, there there are multiple servo skulls just floating about to make sure that everything is in its proper place. And it looks like there are 2 librarians constantly on staff.
Beautiful.
But it also looks like there is always 2 there are, one old, one young.
Yeah, no, the engineer would, as soon as he discovers this place, again, it's no engine, but it will do. Upon discovering this place, I think he would stop volunteering so much for extra work and start trying to find ways to find himself there.
You find that this place is open to the public
Wild.
It's just you have to be a member of crew to check things out.
Mm. Mm.
And the primary benefit is, hi, if you want to make any lore test, if you use the library, it becomes routine.
But I am not a member of the crew, right?
So you can't
So
check
I
out
can't
books, but you
quite.
can use books here.
But I am allowed inside. I just
Yeah.
can't take them with me. Okay, excellent. Otherwise, I was going to have to run up to Diamond and go, Diamond, 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 I need to make a friend. Help. Oh.
But also,
But seeing
what
as
do
he
you
doesn't
do?
need to make a friend, so
What do you do with this information? Does Obscurus keep this to himself? Does he share? What does he do?
you know, I wonder. I think he would share the information, not immediately, and not because he's actively hiding, but because I don't think it would occur to him that the rest of them would be interested. They seem to be so far more interested in gossip and card games and whatever it is Subscavia does. He's not entirely sure, but he does know that it's not in his reports, and so she's mostly meat anyway. So it would take him a few days, I think, before he would again not actively drop the info, but just kind of casually share that he's off to the library and we'll see people later. Um, and that would probably raise some eyebrows from those interested in, wait, you said what? Going where?
I'm halfway through a ploin when you say that. I look up, it's like, and go back to the ploin.
See, he was right at least one of his one of his crewmates.
Diamond, Octavia, what are your responses to this drop that there's a library on board?
Positive that there is one. I'm like, whoa, a library. But in a way that I don't have, there's no heart in it as I say it. It feels like it's something I should say, not something I'm feeling.
Beautiful. Diamond?
Sugar, you said that there's a library on this vessel.
Oh, quite. It's in fact quite well stocked and very impressive. He says, and then begins to walk again.
Did you make a hold? And she like reaches over and grabs one of the purloin that's been like stashed perfectly from as she walks, and she's taking it and doing the eating it with a knife as she walks kind of thing. Obscures, and she'll like. While we're walking, you can introduce me to the library, and she'll hand him like pieces of fruit as they're walking in this level,
which he will look at and then store away in his robe for presumably later or study. He's not entirely sure.
Eat it.
Now?
You have not eaten in the last 48 hours.
Pulls out a data pad, checks. Oh, you're right. Puts it away again, lightly chews on one slice as he continues walking.
More than one?
Obscurus?
Mm-hmm.
You have this fresh ploying. And again, you worked on an agri plant, so I'm fairly certain of some of the software that you have installed. One, the meat parts of your brain all of a sudden become significantly more active than they've been for probably quite some time. As your brain gets like a sugar high for the first time in who knows how
long. So you see him take the slice kind of back out of his whatever pockets are in his robe, and he takes one bite and literally stops moving. There's one foot in the air, and he's just like completely frozen in space for a solid 5 seconds. before he finishes his step and goes, "Reboot completed. Can I have more of that, please?"
Yes, and she kind of keeps like, and this is why we eat on a regular timetable, you know, fuel for the body and the mind.
Mm-hmm. Noted. Duly noted.
Remember, like the Omnissiah you need fuel for the tools of the Omnissiah. Your body is a tool for the Omnissiah. You need fuel as well.
Nutrient-based will usually do, but I mean, yeah. Can I have another? Thank you. But yeah, otherwise he just gladly leads Diamond off to the library.
Oh, she gonna go to the library.
Diamond, like, again, the thing with an agriplanet, it's Kansas,
Mm-hmm.
the planet Kansas in most cases. Not all. I will let you choose if it's Kansas or the other thing is it's Mad Max, but with drug producing flowers.
Because I was thinking it was Nebraska, which is even worse.
You can have Nebraska, but like the thing with agriplanets is they are either a monoculture that is cultivated, or it's Nebraska, but everything is optimized for, like every biome is optimized to produce something.
I think it's the latter. I think it's like Nebraska, but every biome is optimized for production. Um, the most stringent levels of wherever, and it's just
Yeah, you can choose like the in that case like even the oceans are optimized for like aquaculture, like everything. There is not a square foot that is not used for the producing of food or aiding those that help in the production of food for this planet. Um, so go ahead, like for funsies, if you have a free moment, figure out like what does your planet produce?
yeah.
Uh,
We'll come
but
back to that.
at the same time, like there's not a lot for entertainment. Like you don't have theaters. You may have TVs. You definitely all have phonographs. And pretty much every locale, especially you mentioned Nebraska and Kansas, the thing that is used the most for leisure is the library. That is the one thing that they let these people have is the library and the church. Those are your two areas of entertainment. Nothing else. Um, and this is an even nicer library than the one you grew up with.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, this would be one of the rare times when you see a little bit of emotion on the engineer's face. He's kind of like, see,
It is
like
a
he looks a little proud of himself, like
there's this slight like pat at like wait remind me you're like 6 foot or taller, right?
No,
Oh no,
no,
he's short.
he's just a little guy at 5'2", and I left his weight unwritten because it's rude to ask an engineer their weight.
This is true.
5'2" as an engine seer.
Yep, he's that's what I rolled.
This man, if he actually turned off the grav assist, would probably weigh the equivalent of a Volkswagen Beetle.
Probably. Well, Diamond is just a little bit taller than you at 5'5", so stringently important heels. But she makes her way through and is like just kind of like pats you slightly on the shoulder, like you done good, and is going to spend the rest of this day in this library, associating themselves with what is here, but also the research librarians, which
As
are
for there was always one younger. There's just two librarians for this entire place. There is a restricted section because you are thoroughly investigating.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that you notice is that the restriction section has very impressive locks,
Mm-hmm.
but this place has a little bit of everything. It's rather impressive. Like, they not only do they have like the typical like religious texts, but they also have like a ton of different styles of dime novels. They have stuff that in certain circles would be considered contraband, but it's just they're documented. They have penny dreadfuls. Like they have just tons and tons of stuff.
I'm gonna I'm gonna do a one small pass through the romance section because it was going to give me just an idea of
Uh,
what's popular.
you have like very like traditional fantasy romance,
Mm-hmm.
um, but you also have like interesting like pseudo crime novel romance, almost like to this world's equivalent of noir. Um, and they have a very impressive and sizable section of smut.
Huh.
Just absolute. Well, some of it's trash. Others is well written, but it's smut.
I'm personally a big fan of the Emperor's Candle. One of
You
my
know that's a
favorites.
whole series, right?
There's more than one?
They're like 24 now.
Oh, wow. I am out of the loop.
Burns at both ends, that one.
And the thing is, it is varietal. There is not like one like specific style. Like again, the wonder, the positive side of 40K. Everything is so grim dark. We don't care about gender or orientation. Who has time for that?
You're all equally useless under the eyes of the Emperor.
Precisely.
Mhm.
We can only hope for our dystopia to be this enlightened.
Um, yeah. So that's what she's gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why anybody would read this smut when they have a first edition manual for the JBX 955-A here. Holy crap.
Those diagrams.
That is that you have not seen a manual for a flange cleaner until you've seen the manual for the JVX 955 beta. So I mean, yeah, no, you've got your smut, I've got mine. Let's just leave it at that.
Whatever makes you happy, sugar.
The the impressive thing for you, Obscurus,
Mm-hmm.
is the technical manuals for different aerospace and spacecraft. Like they have the tech specs maintenance for all of these like fighter craft as well as transport craft in this library.
I'm a read through that like I was 8 years old and looking through my first monster manual again.
Pick your poison of the Imperial Aeronautica. It's represented here.
Nice.
The other thing, Diamond, that you will eventually come to is there is a lot of Imperial propaganda space operas and a ton of like almost pulpy uh space and air fighter novels, like the Imperial equivalent of the Rocketeer as a serial.
She's gonna take like down the list of the names to get share with Quentin, and then like a couple of the propaganda ones to share with Octavia.
Um, but you can tell that the um, aerospace and air fighter stuff, that's the stuff that gets checked out the most.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They all into fighter pilots.
Heavily so. Really heavy.
I just have to ask, is there one with a volleyball? beach volleyball.
Not in the standard section. There is one in the smut.
I'm somehow not surprised in any way, shape, or form.
It's also serialized. There's 16 books in the collection.
Mm-hmm.
She makes a note because she figures Quentin needs something else to read.
Like it follows one particular pilot from like 18. This pilot also is most definitely fiction because he lives. Up until like older Silver Fox smut.
18-year-olds don't have nothing. I mean, like,
It does get spicier as it goes along.
Mhm.
that's fair. But again, Diamond is a lot older than she looks. She is well
Yes.
beyond the age of farm boys and 18-year-olds. She leaves that shit for other people, and she's gonna take some time to kind of like organize and get a vibe check from like this, and then check to make sure that Obscurus ate something in addition to, you know, that he is not entirely lost in research.
He is entirely lost in research.
She will set a timer for herself to come back and get him.
The other thing that you note as you are more exploring this place, then like Obscurus gets to cheat by having enhanced systems.
Yes.
There is a small commissary attached to this place. They don't want you to eat inside the library, but they have an entire section where you can go eat and then come back in. It's essentially an automat, but it's free to use.
Very impressive. Yeah, she's gonna set herself a timer. Otherwise, who knows? And then, as she's making her way back through the halls towards where they're billeted, she just wants to take a listen to whatever chatter's happening around her. You know.
Go ahead and give me an awareness test.
Yes.
Challenging awareness test.
I just want to make sure I read this correctly. Yes. Because I have acute sentences.
Nice.
So, for hearing specifically. She's just getting a vibe check, kind of. It's a success.
You hear most things are very like surface level pleasantry.
Yeah, you know.
You do get one little bit of gossip.
Oh, I'm here for the gossip, sugar.
A section of the ship that none of you guys have become familiar with it because it is closer to areas that are harder for you to get to. It's a more restricted section. It's towards the aft of the ship. It's not directly around engineering, but it's on the way. This place has what's called a resolution arena.
Really?
It is for lack of the better term, a blessed, sanctioned Imperial fighting pit.
It is a blessed, sanctioned Imperial fighting pit. Quentin!
My head pops up. Yeah.
Quentin.
You heard about this because the people were talking about gambling.
Oh, God, yes. Quentin.
Yep.
There's money to be made, my darling.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the kind that you're
am
going to get
in.
hit in the face a few times for.
How much money we talking about?
Pit fighting.
Ooh, let's do it. Oh, wait, is that love in the cockpit in your hand?
Volume. Well, we can't check anything out, but I got you a list. Here, and you might enjoy this.
No. You can. They also have a digital, so you can
Oh.
get stuff on your data pad.
All right.
Oh, yeah. She's got an entire. Here, I got you the rest of the set, and this entire collection just for you. Octavia, my darling, where did you go off to? We have money to be made and betting to have, and Quentin, you're gonna have to throw one.
I mean, character. Quentin's a shooter, not a fighter, so it's not gonna go well for me.
Yeah, but you're the only person who is. Well, no, I mean, like, I guess I could. It would. The weirdest thing is her best stat is actually strength. Funnily enough. Octavia, my darling, where are you? We have money to be made, and blessed saying, praise the God Emperor and the Omnissiah. There's something to do on this vessel.
I wish. Octavia has just, been idling. Maybe like saying some prayers in the corner, pretending to be involved. So yeah, yes. What is there? What are we doing?
This charming vessel has a sanctioned and blessed and holy pit fighting ring. You want to go hit somebody real hard in the face? For the God Emperor?
Yeah, it's been a while. I'd be interested to see how this vessel goes. They have very interesting. They're very interesting. Yes, let's go.
When was the last time you ate something sugar?
Earlier this morning before I left to the temple.
Okay.
Bloin. I just throw it to your face. Bloin.
Eat the fruit. Fruit's good for you. Particularly when you're trapped on a vessel like this and you ain't gonna see sun ever.
Thank you. Where did you find this fruit? I didn't see it.
Around, and I walk out.
The God Emperor provides some wonderful blessings at times of great hardship and at times just because he can.
So, it takes you a while because this is not well documented and not on the standard guided tour vessel. In searching for it, it takes you all about 2 hours to find. But find it, you do. And it is large. It is impressive. Money was spent here.
Wow, they have such huge monitors up in the air.
No, there are no monitors.
Oh, okay.
It is full stadium seating.
Okay.
There are even box seats. It looks like there is a box of honor for the rogue trader herself. The actual like fighting arena is about the size of an NBA basketball. It is filled with sand.
Best way to cover up the blood. Yep.
You smell the place before you actually get in, as there's a slight tinge of copper on the air, but more interestingly is the smells of good, fresh food. Something that, Quentin, this is a rarity for you.
This place.
Diamond? Even the grim darkness of the far future, an agri-planet still has fairs.
Look, the 4-H club is just expanded. They've added an extra one for the hammers.
Fair food. You smell fair food.
Ooh, we getting funnel cake, y'all.
What the hell is a funnel cake?
You're about to be blessed by one of the greatest gifts that God Emperor has given to mankind. Come along, my children. It is time to die. Well, no, don't do that. We'll hold off onto that until after the fight. Don't eat before you fight. It's always better. What's the idea?
All right.
But
Let's
yeah,
do that.
no, there's many kinds of roasted nuts, funnel cake, bear claws, pizza, uh, Orok burgers.
Ooh.
They actually have fried fish on stick, corn dogs. Like,
Where'd they get the fish?
that is an excellent question, Quentin. That is an excellent question. Diamond, you can identify the fish. It is rehydrated salt cod.
Okay, side note. Prax knows exactly what that is, and there is only God. My ancestors are here in my head talking about it frequently. It is called bacala.
Ooh,
For those who
bacala.
don't know,
Nice.
it is a Christmas tradition amongst Southern Italians
Mm-hmm.
of salted cod that's hard as a freaking brick, and then you spend 3 days after Thanksgiving, or up to a week and a half, unsalting it so it can be softened and cooked for the night for Christmas Eve. But and she's just kind of look at that and then look at Quentin and look at that and go, when was your last what was your last blood pressure test? Heart
Sorry, I
rate?
didn't hear you.
What was your last heart rate test? I don't know.
Test.
Quentin, you have no idea what she's talking.
I mean, was like a written thing or
And she'll just kind of like reach over and grab his wrist. It's like, that level of sodium cannot necessarily, well, you should have a little bit of it. Not a lot.
okay.
Diamond, this is deep fried, like southern deep fried. You can smell the beer from the back.
I don't know if that would make it better or worse. It
You
might
say as soon as you
actually
say
make it better.
you turn around and I'm halfway through one.
You get one.
It is the perfect level of crispy.
Oh my god.
It is incredibly salty.
I never want to leave this ship again.
Like, this is if like vinegar chips and fried cod had a baby.
Listen, can we is it I know rogue traders can get troops and stuff. Can we just live here? Like forever?
As you say that, Quentin, a lot of you, because you've been in the military, not an incredibly long time, but long enough, you see sitting in the arena, closer to the actual arena floor, not on the floor, but closer to it, the distinctive figures of stormtroopers.
Oh. Oh,
Either
no.
they're being transported alongside you all and have kept to themselves, or this ship has its own personal contingent.
Oh boy.
I don't think you want to join with them, honey.
No, no, no. Being a stormtrooper is an entirely different animal.
Yeah, like again, think Jocko silhouette.
Mhm.
These men are meat.
Yep.
Highly cultivated meat.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I went through basic training. If I attempted stormtrooper training, I probably wouldn't. I'm too bit of a free spirit. They break you down entirely to make you one of them people. Don't get me wrong. Tremendous warriors. Like, I would love them at my back, hopefully not shooting my back, but shooting at the enemy. But there's a lot. They do a lot.
They are hooting and hollering. They have alcohol of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And
strong stuff. Mm.
And it looks like each of them is like almost has a commissary to themselves amount of food.
Because who's gonna tell them no?
Yeah, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, this place smells of different grades of alcohol, all of the friolated arts, and you see that again. There are multiple fights going on simultaneously within the arena. There are like ushers handing out like bills of what's going on. There are definitely bookies at different like intersections of the stands. Uh, the seats are well made. And then Octavia, because you've already been looking, you you look up and you see that towards the ceiling of this place is more of that similar statuary.
Hmm.
You see all the saints that you saw before, but you see additional figures. In fact, you see representations of each of the emperor's 9 sons. The 9 primarchs
Oh.
are there alongside the emperor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm just more perplexed about this ship.
Um, all of them are done in like each one of them are done in a different style. They're all done up in sort of very specifically a more gothic sector sense of fashion.
Hmm.
Um, much more parade military clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they are all done up in uniform. It's very tasteful, but very distinctive stylistically.
Yeah, I would say so. Interesting. Yeah, I'll be like, as Quentin is, as they're looking at these stormtroopers, I'm looking at these statues, just taking note of each one, and sorting it in my mind along with the other statues that I've seen thus far. Wondering if there's more elsewhere on this ship, and if so, where.
But yeah, no, if you want like one of the playbills, um, it it notes that each of these fights are because of personal beefs with people,
Mm-hmm.
and this is where they resolve them.
Efficient.
Oh damn, Obscurus got saved, is what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like they're all definitely members of the ship's crew, and there's different levels of like there's some that are to first blood, there are some last person standing, and then for like the top of the bill of the evening is to the death.
Does it say like, do the bills say like the reasons, or is just
No, they keep the reasons vague. It's just that you know that all of these people have problems with one another.
okay?
But this all appears sanctioned and legal.
I mean, better than doing it in the dark. At least they know who's gonna fall, who's gonna die, so they can replace him easier.
And it's not long that you actually see that those are some sisters hospitaller that are working the sides. It's just they're not in their full normal gear. They're more casually dressed.
Hmm. I'm assuming they're healing up the people being down, or just hanging
Yeah, no,
out.
no, like 2 of the most minor sisters
Mm-hmm.
go and like, especially those that are like last one standing, go bring out a stretcher, properly put them on the stretcher, load them back. But they're like in their what is referred to as shield robes. They're they are is full on monastic style casual wear.
Mm-hmm.
But both Quentin and Diamond, you note that even their casual wear has ship's insignia and logo.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Out of just random possible curiosity, would it be perhaps a thing to note about, like, is it marked in the place? Because usually, like, the Adepta and particularly the Sisters Hospitale are going to definitely wear the mark of whatever order they're part of, and perhaps a regiment, but
Uh,
the
they
ship's
they have
insignia.
they have the standard floor, which denotes
Yeah, their
the
order.
the sisters, um, the sororitas, because the floor is the symbol of the sororitas.
Mhm.
They have an order insignia that is a patch on the right shoulder.
Mhm.
Um, but they have over the heart specifically small ship's insignia.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, ain't that just
Again,
peachy?
in your mind, Diamond, more because of you being the Queen of Scuttlebutt, this is minor age heresy.
Mhm.
Quentin, because you are ship's crew, you know that is a declaration of loyalty.
From even the sisters. Wow.
And that's and you know that's not just a ship system symbol. You know that's a dynastic symbol.
Oh boy.
That is borderline big age heresy.
Oh wow. And I just look at I tweet over to Diamond. Diamond, you seeing what I'm seeing?
I'm seeing a declaration. We've moved on from oolong to ginseng here, honey.
Uh-huh. And from the sisters, that's another thing entirely. What sort of favor happened in a distant whenever to have such loyalty for a non-emperor type individual?
I could not say.
Hmm. Well, thankfully, we have someone who's good at finding tea to figure it out for us, hmm?
Fine.
You know you want to do it anyway.
Well, of course. Who am I betting on and what am I betting?
Well, let's find out.
There's a lot of fights.
Ooh,
But the
Octavia,
thing is,
pages.
Octavia, you eaten yet? You had anything? You good?
I'm nibbling on the fruit.
Okay.
There's other options. You know, I'm not gonna bother. It's fine. It's fine.
Obscurus, while all this is going on,
Yeah.
you have noticed that they even have commissarial treats specifically for the Mechanicus here.
I mean, that's where I'll be hanging out near the snack table. Yes.
Um, the Mechanicus doesn't often have treats, but they do have some. These are the established Mechanicus treats is they love things that are freeze dried.
Mm.
You are the primary consumers of astronaut ice cream in the whole of the Imperium.
It's good stuff.
Um, and yes, they have many flavored pastes that have been enhanced with all of the vitamins you need to have the good feelings.
Hey, scientifically designed to make you happy. Yeah.
Yeah, like this has just the right amount of caffeine, all of the B12 you could ever hope for. Um, and all those things to just like go, I need a thought boost, or I need to have all of my meat parts working at peak efficiency. This is the stuff. And they come in little like rice paper that you can actually also consume wrappers.
Excellent. Efficient. Love it. Is there a slight sort of like mechanical grinding sounds like as
Yeah, like
things go into his mouth? Yeah, a little bit, a little
you
bit.
know like the thing that you notice is that there are definitely senior mechanics and like people who have been designated to later on be inducted into the mechanicus.
Mhm.
They are even below initiate level because again they have the robes, but they have yet to get their first augment. That are all like seated together and enjoying this particular sections of commissary.
Mm.
But it looks like while they enjoy with everyone, much like the kisses want to do, they sit as a block. They are their thing.
Mm-hmm.
But also because I love borrowing things from many different cultures, and it makes sense to me that the Mechanicus have like the Japanese baseball specific noisemakers,
Yes.
and they're beating things out in binary.
In sync.
Yes. They are very organized, they are very clean, and they're having very regimented fun.
Hmm. Designated fun time. Yay.
Look, it could be worse. So,
All right.
yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of a tea finding
Mm-hmm.
There's also plenty of betting to be had.
and making some money.
All right. So I'm going to. What I want to do is look through the books, look at and if they're available, look at some of the fighters and try to gauge like which ones I think might be a good chance of winning for my bets.
Uh, okay. Excellent choices. Um, I will leave it to you
Mm-hmm.
whether you want to use melee, logic, or athletics to decide who you are betting on.
Well, my highest is melee, which is still only a 33, but it's better than nothing.
So it's
Okay.
essentially a fighter assessing other fighters.
Yep. Let's do it. That is
Oh
a
wow, you rolled a
wow.
5.
Wow.
So that's a yes and.
Okay. Hmm.
You are seeing the field with people that you now know by kind of following where the sisters are all moving.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can see down the tunnels like people who are on deck,
Mm-hmm.
and again, you've been ship's crew. You know where to look for the names and the insignia to designate like what section of the ship that they probably serve on,
Mm-hmm.
what they normally do. Like you are plugged in. This is like you being back into like back home at your own ships like pit fights. It's just not nearly as nice as this.
Yep.
And like you were immediately in and going, okay, so the the ones that are going to have the biggest payout are the ones that are going to be like for the folks that work the guns or
Mm-hmm.
the manual laborers that serve under the mechanicus for stuff in engineering. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's where the money is to be made because these are the big fighters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And these are the ones that are. This is the marquee heavyweight stuff.
Mm-hmm. So I'm looking through and I talked to Diamond going through the list of fighters. Like, all right, most likely a good chance here, maybe 80% here. But this one in here, Nina. See the hand over there? Tiny little thing. Even shorter than you, even shorter than Obscurus over there. But you know what? Looking at the job listings here, she's always been a bit of a taskmaster to her crew. Getting feeling no one messes with her. And also because of that size, people might think otherwise. You bet on her big, she's gonna make you a ton of money.
Well, I feel like we should make some bets then, sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And grease the social walls. It's always good to have friends, particularly if you're about to get dumped on a planet and then, you know.
Probably never see him again.
Um,
Okay, go ahead and roll rapport. See what you get.
Okay.
Rapport's challenging difficulty. Actually,
Wh-
no, report at routine because people are happy. They're letting their guards down.
Okay,
Mhm.
so this is where I'm going to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
I am not intending to bribe someone, but I am intending to buy something.
Okay.
So I have a talent for Taskmaster or Dealmaker, not Taskmaster, Dealmaker, which is about if I'm negotiating, but I'm not negotiating here, am I? No, it's just a straight
No.
bet. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just straight up.
yeah.
Now, would it she gain some other benefit because I've told her the best fighters to
Oh,
choose?
she's going to get a benefit.
Okay.
It's the you have increased the likelihood that you guys are going to actually make creds off of this.
Okay.
Uh, you have significantly enhanced the likelihood of you guys winning creds as opposed to losing creds.
Yeah.
Now, the thing I will allow you to use the negotiator
Mhm.
on is if you want to place side bets.
Hmm.
So, going back to my Solaris 7 days, I was young then.
Full of hopes and dreams.
If you want to like make fringe bets,
Okay.
so this person is going to win via knockout.
Yeah.
This person is going to, if it's to first blood, they're going to hit him in the face. These long shot, long odds, you can use negotiator to make those bets because normally these bookies would not make them. But
Yeah.
you know how to talk up a bookie.
Of course. All right. So I'm gonna roll the rapport first.
Mm-hmm.
The charm or regular rapport.
Charm.
Yeah.
In this case, you're schmoozing.
Sorry, pulling this. And success.
Okay,
1 level of success.
you don't get too much in the way of rumor, but you do get a little bit of goss.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like a lot of stuff is focused on the fights.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, the things that you pick up through conversation, through listening in. One, this is a daily occurrence.
Mm-hmm.
It is part of the ship's culture.
Yep.
You do get a little history. This is an evolution
Of course.
of the ship's death cult.
Interesting.
The ship used to have a death cult.
Interesting. Whose
Used
death
to.
cult?
What?
Whose death cult?
It was a death cult specifically dedicated to the Emperor.
Oh, okay. So I'm not a concerning death cult, just a mostly.
Still concerning because most of these death cults they claim to hear the Emperor and just kill people.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean,
But at least they do it for the Emperor, so it's totally different.
Also,
Totally
to be fair,
different.
the Emperor does tell people to kill people a lot.
I
Like,
mean, technically true.
It's not his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it seems as though a previous rogue trader earlier in the line went, too many of my people are dying under spurious circumstances. Let's try and make this a little more controlled. And apparently, not the first rogue trader of this vessel, but like essentially the seventh emperor
yeah.
of this vessel, the seventh rogue trader, is the one that brought about these reforms.
Cool. Reforms are good. Particularly these kind of reforms. Great. We'll take it. We'll shift it. We'll make some money.
And it's been a heavy investment by the descendants to keep investing in this and keep it this way because apparently there's a good deal of superstition around this that the arena must always be kept open because the last time it was closed for any reason, the ship got attacked.
Oh, well, good to know. Always find out your superstitions like that. That's important.
Yeah, so the arena must always be kept open. And yeah, no, they're perfectly fine with people dying as long as they give notice.
Hmm.
Like, in order to get on the card, you have to both put in a request, both of the aggrieved parties. It must be sanctioned by a subdivision of the Medicaid, the hospitalers.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that have been put in charge of this. But also, this is the success. If the hospitalers earmark someone, they can, at the next port of call that has a sororitas presence, move that individual that they've earmarked as an aspirant for the sororitas.
Oh.
Oh, we recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
This is a recruiting grounds for the sororitas.
Interesting.
Absolutely wonderful. Totally supportive of that. There's as she's kind of like chatting with the bookie about things and picking out some winnings, and then here over discovers that little bit. She kind of takes a side look at Octavia. Nah. It's like Octavia's level of dedication and zealotry not matching the sororitas in this particular way.
Well, it's more along the lines of she's probably too old to be earmarked.
Well, this is true. Also, not that particular. Just, I'm going to keep an eye on her. It's fine.
Yeah, but no, it's like, from what you get, it's like, yeah, the age of consent for the resolution arena is 15 with parents' permission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also with parents' permission, it's like, there's a little sign here that says if the hospitalers think that your kid is good, you lose your kid.
You can give
So
another one to the service of the Emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, technically, with permission, I mean it's the hospital's permission, but still permission.
Yeah, but everything you must both sign up. There must be a 3-day period, and then you have to approve again, and then you get to go into the arena.
Okay.
There's also just the culture is whatever happens in the arena, this solves it.
Yep, that's fair. How much money to make?
Let me put this to you this way. How many bets do you put down?
I diversify my betting, but I got a shit ton of money, so
How much you bet?
I'll put down 300.
Okay.
All right. I also because I have $50 left from all the stuff I bought, so I'm gonna put my $50 in there as well.
Oh, I
Okay.
didn't buy anything.
Oh.
I just got given a whole bunch of nice things, so I'm sitting on all my money.
Fair enough.
All right. So we'll roll the happy sad die and keep into account Witten's roll.
And the success. I rolled a success.
Came up the happiest of faces. You get 10 times your money.
Ooh, so 3,000.
3,000.
500 back.
3,500 is where we're sitting.
Bet big, win big.
Exactly. In a controlled environment, but she also does it like in a diversify, right? Like, she's not going to bet that.
Yeah, it's not all in one.
Bucky, right? Like,
yeah. And you went down to multiple bookies.
I understand how this works. You don't,
You don't bust any one bookie's bank.
Exactly. I just bust like, I make things better. Yeah. And she's
you do get noted though that like pretty much almost every single person you bet on won.
Yeah.
You have been noted.
Yeah, but you would also notice that all the bookkeepers would notice that she, didn't bet massive amounts on individuals, right? Like,
Yeah, you diversified your bets, but all of your bets,
yes.
they know.
Yeah, of course they did. I'm charming and attractive.
Mhm.
And the hair. It's
And
distinctive.
the hair. So, as for Obscurus and Octavia, what trouble, if any, you get up to, or observations you would wish to make?
I think for Obscurus, he's less interested in the fights or the betting. He really doesn't care that much. But having seen the main contingent of Adeptus from the ship itself, kind of in their little cool kids table, being there, he would sort of try and sit nearby. Like he's just trying to see if he can kind of sit with the cool kids a little, because he doesn't really have like his group of adeptus. So he's
Like a few of them see you, especially the initiates, like the
Mhm.
lower level ones, the ones that have yet to have their augments, and they just kind of like a number of them through your new sphere. You get DMs and go like, you can come sit with us. We will
and
show you the chance.
and he doesn't hesitate. He just immediately like just stands up with this little plate of just protein bars basically, and moves over to join the seat.
Yeah,
And
like
I'm sure, like the rest of it's mostly quiet at the table. I'm guessing it's mostly just Noosphere.
everyone
Yep.
is speaking news in the
It's the
sphere.
equivalent of we're all sitting at a table and everybody's on their phone,
Mhm.
but we're texting each other. So
Yes. And
I
like
mean,
they hand you a set of sticks, and yeah, they show you like all the chants and everything. It is easy to have a good time. It's interesting. They're incredibly insular to the normies,
yes,
but you are one of them.
I'm just imagining like everyone just sees silence, but inside the newsphere, it is the most rambunctious and vulgar screams during these matches.
It's still order, but it's
Hmm.
very orderly screaming.
Oh, okay, there we
Uh,
go.
again, regimented fun.
yeah. Like if you could hear it, the delighted screeching that a modem back in the 90s used to make upon meeting a kindred device. It's a little bit like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, very regimented, but this is the best time that like most Mechanicus can be had.
Yes.
Mhm.
So yes, no, he's making friends, and both surprised and delighted at this.
You also, because of joining this section, and again, there's a primary use sphere. You eventually get invited to there is a sub new sphere just for the arena.
Oh, I got invited to the group chat. All right, yeah.
Oof.
Well, the arena group chat.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the arena group chat. They have essentially turned the arena into their own sort of version of Blazeball.
Fascinating.
Like they're they know note where each of these people are located on the ship. They're sorted into superficial social groups that have their own lore.
All of a sudden, Engine Zero Obscurus is obsessed with everything happening here. Because now these people have backstories and stats that nobody else is
Yes.
aware of nor understands.
Like, and they have deep levels of stats on each of these individuals, and you're starting to like see the math of the fights.
Yeah, nobody told me before. Like, people had told me that these things are just basically math,
Yeah,
I would have been a
like
lot more excited.
again,
I, yeah,
they have taken arena fighting and went full baseball with sabermetrics and everything.
yep, yep. Yeah, yeah. No, he is lost in that particular sauce now.
Like there's even a section for errors, and this is you can tell like the young ones don't quite get the math and don't quite care about the errors, but
Mhm.
the older members of the group that attends are obsessed over errors. This is like a hyper fixation of when the math goes wrong
Mhm.
or when an unforeseen variable pops up. Like that is immediately like there's a subsection of the subsection of the subsection that is just hyper focused.
Because that's where you discover new things.
Octavia, aside from the statuary, what are you interested in?
Um, I want to go sit by the stormtroopers. Um, and I want to go over there and be a little bit convivial with them. I want to, like, get into what I'm watching and like ask questions about like, how do you get into this? Like, have you guys done this? Stuff like that. To garner more information not only about how one does these fights, but like also like how often they happen. Like I know that other people have learned that stuff through their means, but I would like to learn that and also just like create some sort of camaraderie there.
I have one very important question for you.
Absolutely.
Are you drinking with them?
Uh yeah. I know how to you know I'm not an idiot when it comes to fellowship, so I am absolutely there trying to get it in.
First, I will need you to make a fortitude test.
Yeah.
This is not
Uh,
quite the Marine Corps' birthday, but it's damn close.
challenging?
Yes, I'm going to be kind right now because it's not
I
a
appreciate
special
it.
day. It's just normal.
I'm rolling
Oh,
again.
no.
Fuck. I cannot believe I've not rolled below a 50. I am livid. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
You
game.
rolled a
Thanks.
7.
I rolled a 7. Hey, shout out game. Never mind, this game's the best thing I've ever the roll 20 is the best thing I've ever played. A great roller. 10 out of 10.
So yeah, okay. You are keeping up with these stormtroopers and their drinking. You are going drink for drink with them, and
Mhm.
they notice. Depending on how long you decide to hang out with these guys, is whether or
Mhm.
not they adopt you as a mascot.
I'm hanging out until I get tapped on the shoulder by a Diamond that we are leaving
Diamond,
as a
it
group.
is clear to you what is going on. Somehow Octavia is going drink for drink with these guys, and you've served in the military enough that as a special tasks group, and she's keeping up with them. It is not long until Little Sister Protocol gets enacted. You are muted.
You're
Yep.
muted.
Okay. I don't know how that
There you go.
happened, but thank you very much. Can I gauge from the distance? I know she's keeping up from them going drink for drink, and but I know Octavia's general state of health. Where is her line on alcohol poisoning, and how far is she from it?
She's about an hour away.
And the little sister protocol is going to kick in like the next 3 drinks.
Yeah.
Oh, she's going to be fine. We're going to take advantage of this so much. She
Like
she's going to keep an eye on it, and like at the next drink she's going to come over and be like, put down like like a little bit of food in front of Octavia. It's like, don't forget to eat something now, sugar, and make eye contact with the non-com.
Okay.
She's gonna make eye contact with the non-com and go, right, right, right.
You just get in that sort of like stage whisper. She's safe with us.
Of course she's safe with y'all. That was never the concern. Because when she leaves y'all, that would be the problem. You're fine gentlemen, and others. And eventually you'll be gentlemen and scholars.
But yeah, no, you're going shot for shot. So go ahead and roll rapport at routine. So rapport at +20, because again, you were keeping up with the Marines.
Success.
They have adopted you. They will tell you whatever you want to know.
I love that.
By the end, they're holding up in a chair. She's just like, hey,
No,
hey.
like, just if she wants piggyback rides from the largest fellas, no problem.
I am. Yeah, I asked them like the basic questions of like how this all works, how people get in there. Like, have one of you gone in there?
You find out that they are specifically, there is standing orders from their superior. They're not allowed to participate.
Which is not an uncommon thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's so fair.
But they are allowed. They get a special commissary dispensation. All their snacks here are free.
Ooh.
And whenever they have free time, they are allowed to come here. So this is essentially their version of the Marine bar.
I love that for them. And I'm like, and so I'll to continue on with just like, oh, you guys aren't allowed to participate. Sorry about that. This is a Pope question.
Yeah.
Is it common for these troops to be on ships like this?
A rogue trader vessel? This is highly uncommon.
I'm like, oh man, that's so sorry to hear that. How long have you guys been on here? Are you guys is this just like a travel ship, or what are you guys up to here?
No, we're all assigned. This is our vessel. Pretty much there has been a contingent aboard the Righteous Indignation since sometime in M40. This was for recognition of the Righteous Indignation breaking through a heretic blockade and providing the guard a emergency resupply.
Oh, an honorable station. Then.
Oh yeah, it's great. Like these guys, like, it's a pretty nice posting. Like, most of the time we're just here acting as an extra layer of security. Sometimes, usually about once a decade, we get deployed for a hit and run effort. Usually when the Righteous Indignation gets commissioned or petitioned by either the Imperial Navy, the Guard, or in the rare history, the Astartes, for support. And usually when one of them call, it's either a blockade run or we're hitting a heretic hell planet, and then we're on.
Oh boy, what was I gonna say? Then, that there was one more question I wanted to ask. but I got busy thinking about how I wanted to end the scene. What was I gonna ask? It was gonna be really important too. This is something I really wanted to know. What did I want to know? Okay. It's something. Oh, yeah. I remember. Oh man. So you guys have been here. Yeah, it doesn't sound like much is dangerous. I mean, I've heard.
Most dangerous thing that dealt with in living memory, like our commanding officer was part of some of the last unpleasantness. We got they got deployed when they were just I want to say lieutenant, um, and they got actually deployed dirt side to deal with some knife eaters. It was real unpleasant, but 40% of who was deployed got brought back. It was real messy.
Oh yeah.
But
Ugh.
aside from that, like again, that was a while back. But yeah, no. Aside from that, it's been very much smooth sailing. I think like it wasn't necessarily the bloodiest incident in our history, but it came pretty damn close.
It's hard to believe it gets even more bloody than that. I mean, that's a good thing to hear, though. I've heard this ship sometimes deals with sanctioned Xeno, so that's.
Yeah, Marshka, that's an imperial formality and just insurance. Um, as for tweets keeps to themselves, so not much problems. It's the bloody fucking Reaper you have to worry about.
The Reaper?
Yeah,
I don't think I've heard of them.
that's because no one sees them.
Oh.
The Reaper's a open rumor.
Oh.
There's a reason why the arena is where people resolve their conflicts, because if you don't, the Reaper gets you.
Oh.
The Reaper is the unofficial bosun of the vessel. Freaking ghost that goes around, and if somebody just turns up fucking dead and it's awfully fucking bloody, that was the Reaper.
Oof. But it's all sanctioned, right?
Yeah, no, but no one living seen the fuck, and apparently they just haunt the damn vessel. Uh, but yeah, and
An
they
actual
haunt the
boogeyman.
entire fucking vessel, which again, it's multiple kilometers. How they can be in every place at once, only the Emperor knows.
Boy, on such a tight ship. That's shocking to hear. But
Even even the best of people have dark thoughts, and if they're too idle, they give in to them, and if they do, they're all of a sudden smeared.
yikes. Oh man. Hey, do you guys want to see if you can how far you can throw me and catch me?
You can definitely do this, just not here. Gentlemen, women, save him to the training facility.
Just for, rumor's sake, because I did go over to check on Octavia, I would have kind of shifted myself a little bit just so I could hear things that was being talked about.
Again, these these individuals were almost 4 sheets, respectably 3 sheets.
Yeah, but they're not steamers, so it's not like it's real bad.
No, they're Marines,
Yeah,
and
they're
no,
Marines. They're here. They're not. They're not steamers.
You heard most of that.
Yeah. Cool. Just, putting a pin in things I need to make sure not to have my fine folk abducted and or smeared across the decking.
I will say Obscurus, along with the rest of the they/them table, claps the devices along with everybody else as they are called out.
Yeah. Again, they're surprisingly in rhythm. It is both binary and musicality all at once.
Music is
Exceptionally
just
nice.
math with extra steps. I mean,
It's glorious math.
This is true.
Again, you find that in the chat that amongst the younger ones, there is a regular saying that the Omnissiah appreciates a joyful noise.
Happy
and then
quits.
presents very detailed and precise specifications for that noise, its volume level, its frequency, etc., etc.
A joyful noise.
Yes, exactly, and the precise definition of.
There is refinement and like what pitches are most pleasing, as well as specific rhythms. There's an entire like subtreatise if you want to access the subsection of the chat.
Hell yeah.
Now I'm all of a sudden picturing Trooper as a Mechanicus.
Fair. Valid. We'll send him a message.
So this was your day at the arena, but before things wrap up, you definitely stay for, I'm guessing, the fights to the death, with the exception of Octavia, who is going to see how far the Marines can pitch. The answer will surprise you, but that's because some of them have had enhancements.
Oh.
And
It's for
as
fun.
we all know, Newton is the most dangerous motherfucker in space.
The answer to Octavia's question is 22.3 yards.
Ooh.
I believe you can fly.
Oh yeah.
That's respectable.
Again, you find out that one of the members has had extensive mechanical reconstruction, and another one of the Marines comes from a forge world that is primarily ruled over by the Genitors, and he has been genetically engineered.
Oh. I'm having the time of my life.
So are they. They haven't seen this sort of display or gotten to like impress someone in quite some time that wasn't one of their own.
Yeah.
You have allotted the Marines the ability to do stupid human tricks. You are now their favorite person.
Always a fun thing to do.
But as for the rest of you, yeah, this is the first time that any of the people down there are allowed a weapon that isn't a spear. They go, for those of you who understand some of the extant ancient Terran histories and legends, they are done up in traditional gladiator style armors and weapon sets.
Are they oiled?
They are anointed.
Okay.
It is not to the same level of glistening, but it looks like there's a different set of sisters that come out when this happens. They are in black robes, and you also notice for the first time that there are some non-sisters amongst them. They are clearly in Ministorum robes that are essentially giving these people their last rites. They are anointed, they get their final sacraments, and then they go off. They all do a salute to each other, to the box of the rope trader, and to the audience, and then they go out at each other with absolute fucking abandon. It is quick, it is brutal. Um, the families and everyone here are having fun, but it is a brutal, bloody, and relatively, in most cases, quick affair, with the exception of two of the fights, but they're the ones that you made the most money off of.
Nice.
Some of Diamond's side bets came true, including a decapitation.
Gonna be honest, I didn't even see that one coming. That was a good one. That was a good call.
It's all on that side wrist, yo. That's somebody who definitely done decapitated at least one or two things for.
Right, I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah, the victor in that case was one of the head foreman for one of the guns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Against one of her junior non-coms.
Oh. There was some real bad blood there.
They deserved it.
Most likely. Probably.
Yeah. Cut off the head and then picked it up and displayed it to the crowd.
Oh, that is some hate.
You done something to piss that. Look, they sacrificed a non-com for this. Y'all lost. She lost her shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that was y'all's evening, and as we wrap up on the ship and wrap for the night, again, Octavia, you get home safe, but you now have the comm links and duty schedule for that group of Marines, as well as an open invitation to sit with them anytime that you're in the arena. Obscurus, you have family now if you wish to visit.
You know, I think Obscurus was not looking for family, but having found one, is quite thrilled about this. Also, the hope lives in his mechanical heart that this sooner or later somebody's going to show him this engine.
And Quentin, Diamond,
Mm-hmm. I was there.
as you're going to sleep, you see a panel in your ceiling move for a second, and then an exceptionally pale and long-nailed, well-manicured hand just comes down from the ceiling, waves like this, and then closes itself.
There's a beat, and then two, and then. So this ain't a tea ship, Quentin. This is full on coffee.
And the coffee's black.
Nah, that's a flat white.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
And she just like pulls out a bottle from somewhere hidden and just hands it.
And I just
over.
grab
It's
it and I start chugging it.
It's like, we do not need to mess with that.
Nope. I think we should probably stop asking about. Did you tell me about the Reaper thing?
Oh yeah, she would have.
Okay. Well, I think maybe someone named the Reaper just decided. We found out we were asking questions.
Well, I didn't ask jack shit, but
Well,
whatever.
she's part of the crew, so or our crew,
Yeah,
So,
all right.
so we probably should make sure Octavia doesn't,
She's not gonna.
She's
Nah,
probably
she'll
not.
be fine.
No. We tend to be the ones asking these. She's. Let's make. I'm sure she's happy just being thrown around. It's fine. It's fine.
And then, Quentin, you hear something like behind your right ear.
No one will ever believe you.
I'm gonna pass out, and I just walk away.
There's a pause and a thought. And she goes, fuck it. Y'all want a drink? And she just kind of like addresses the empty space.
And you hear distantly, like, a slight chuckle behind your left ear.
I don't drink with monkeys.
Oh.
Well, my mama raised me better than that. At least I made an offer and kept my manners. And she then just picks up one of the fruit and in her thoughts, does not say it out loud, but in her thoughts she goes, you may not drink the monkeys, but you're definitely doing something else with monkeys. I can tell that right now in my... But she don't say it, but it's...
Yep.
It's thought loudly.
Yeah.
Felt loudly.
And that's where we'll wrap for the night.
Yep.
Good times.
Yep.
Great way to end the session with
see.
absolute terror.
Look, we did not die. Yet.
I mean, technically, for Warhammer 40K game, first session survival was pretty good.
Yeah.
And you met, and we both kind of met an individual and didn't die.
Okay, so basically, Obscurus Octavia now has found family, but we found someone that could kill us in our sleep. That's great.
Sleep, standing up, in the shower, wherever you
Oh
want.
no,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
great. That's great. And wherever you're most vulnerable, 100%, just we'll find you and just straight up murder you. It's fine. It's great.
Well, hold on. There we go. Thanks, everybody. That was our first session of this short shot of the complaint department for our Imperium Maledictum. I'm going to let Pope start us off, and then give some love, share some joy, and where we can find you online.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope will build on the internet's primarily over at Blue Sky and start playing games. If you would like to commission me in my storytelling works, please feel free to reach out, drop a line. Everything is negotiable. Tonight was an absolute joy. Again, the setting is very special. It is a hyperfixation of mine that has gotten me through some very dark times. So being able to share it with all of you has been exceedingly special. Thank you so much for letting me do so, and buying in so wholeheartedly each waste. From the conspiratorial double act that is Diamond and Quentin, to getting to see both the curiosity, but also the calculated thought behind Octavia is deeply intriguing. And then this is the thing about the Mechanicus that I love within the lore and the fiction. As much as they deny their humanity, they are deeply, deeply human. They are curious to a fault, passionate to a fault. It's just they explore their nature and their humanity through a very specific lens. So getting to see that with Obscurus and having that reinforced is an absolute joy to see. And I look forward to seeing more of that with you and all of you who are live thought YouTube stories, nothing without science. You're much part of this as we are. Please, during these times where, again, our chosen dystopia can be an escape and joy, look after yourselves and one another as we weather our way. And that, I look forward to seeing you all very soon.
All right, and then the now, instead of being a little sister of the poor, she's a little sister of the Marines. Hey, PB.
Hi, I'm PP from at PP Blades Inside, where you can find me over on Blue Sky and Twitch. I have some fun things coming up in October, so if you're interested in any game prep stuff and watching some cool games with some cool people in the future, just stop on by. Say hello, or follow me on Blue Sky, where I let you guys know everything that's about to happen. Yeah, this was great. I love this. This is 10 out of 10. I adore that, I just adore the crew, to be honest with you. I love how Quentin is just down for the ride, but also a catalyst for a lot of the actions that are taken. So it's it kind of this was my idea, and then the execution can be someone else, and I'll just ride along after that. And I think that's just so good. And I'm now curious what's gonna happen now that the Reaper has their eye on you and Diamond.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
And then if we need to know answers to everything, we should of course ask our engine seer. Hey Dan, how are you? How's life going for you?
Hey, I'm good. Hi, everybody. I'm Dan, and if you would like to find me, I would rather you didn't. But if you must, mostly on Blue Sky these days as Uncivilized Dan. I'm also can be found mostly weekly on a certain podcast that I will let my good friend Jesus go into the proper spiel for, so we don't just do it double. But it's a good show and you should listen to it. Anyway, this was a blast. I always enjoy playing with absolutely everybody at this particular table, and it has been as it always is, an absolute delight to get to play with each and every one of you. I'm an IT guy in real life, so this was just basically just me being myself, just with more metal bits. Hashtag goals. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying the world that Pope has built in around us in this ship, the society and the mysteries and everything that's already building. So I'm real curious to see now that we've gotten to know our players. I'm real curious to see where the story starts leading on the next games. But yeah, other than that, it's a delight. Everybody at this table has been absolutely brilliant all night, and I cannot wait to continue.
And then I guess next up, the tag team partner today, our engine seer and others. Hey, No, not Quentin. Jesus.
Yep.
How are
I'm
you
Quentin
doing?
now. No. Hey guys, this is Jesus. I'm usually known as Arvandus in most of things, usually Blue Sky and such. If you want to find me, as Dan mentioned, I'm part of a podcast called Fanable, where we play a variety of different role-playing games and podcasting, which we get it for officially, was it been like 15 years
It
now?
has officially been 15 years. Yes,
Jesus
we
Christ.
are the longest running podcast, the best and longest running podcast that nobody's ever fucking heard of.
Pretty much, yes, yes. But yeah, if you want 15 years of materials of us, me, Dan, and a bunch of my other friends just playing a bunch of random games sometimes we pay attention to the rules, but most of the time we just want to be funny and just make sure people are entertained. Please check it out. I also have a YouTube channel called Arvandus because I am, humble like that, where I go over the lore of various war games because I'm that type of nerd. I just love, I don't play a war game unless there's a story behind it because I want to imagine my characters dying for a reason. And honestly, as of this game, I'm also a huge fan of Warhammer 40K. It was one of my first war games. I remember as a kid, just when I first discovered Warhammer 40K, reading all the books. Ragnar was one of my first books, followed by Eisenhower, all that stuff. And the way that Pope is portraying this particular, especially specifically the ship, just showcases how beautifully absurd the universe is, and but in a certain situation, it's just beautifully entertaining. And the rest of the characters here, just wonderful to play with, and I'll love messing with all you in different ways as the game goes on. Thank you.
Yep, indeed. So I guess I get to end everything. Hey everybody, you know me. I'm Prex the Bard over on Instagram, Hive, and Blue Sky, and Prexgorth as me for you. See me around here on Twitch. Thank you, Pope, for running this little fun times that I'm sure will not be the absolute worst, but the best ways possible. I'm looking forward to it. I love Obscurus. I'm going to do the thing, and I'm going to do a test run, and I should not have to apologize for finding out the inferiorities of your system, but I guess I do have to apologize for finding out the inferiorities of your system. And you're like, okay. I love Quentin for just, as PB said, being an instigator, but also stirring the pot, but then diving headfirst into it in the best way possible, which I think is great. And then I can't wait to see where Octavia goes, because it's like we've gotten hints of her, but I don't think we've seen like all of her yet. So I'm looking forward to it. Also, being softball special by a bunch of Space Marines. There you go. Have fun with that. This will be an absolute blast. You can find, first of all, if you missed out on any of the fun tonight, if you want to check any of it out, there is a YouTube. It exists. All of these will be going live on YouTube tomorrow. Tonight will go live on YouTube tomorrow. So check it out over there. There is also merch. Right now, the current that exists, all of it goes into helping support the game and the system and all that kind of stuff. And if you like what happens here and you enjoy what I do, I have a Ko-Fi if you want to kind of throw things at that, working out, doing some stuff there. But you can find me next tomorrow, probably with Pope, for more Prax and Pope and plot avoidance. Although we had to do a lot of plot last night.
Yes, but it's to avoid plot now.
This is true. This is true. As we're playing through a community game of Dragon Age Inquisition, and, you know, I still have problems with Hallam Shiral as it's mechanically designed, and it just bothers me. But we're going to play some more of that. Then we'll be back here on Sunday for the next part of this little jaunt into the dark future, and we'll see where we go from there. But I'm happy to chat, life, support, follow me, we'll talk. If you're watching this on YouTube, drop a like or a comment. You know, I guess it helps that YouTube algorithm thing that exists. But let us see, is there anybody up that we can raid into tonight? Because, you know, I think, oh no, Jim is playing some Frostpunk. We should go raid in to Jim for some Frostpunk fun, and we'll catch you all next time, everybody.